Hey, SBG solution based gang, like, share, subscribe. Say no to rim, brothers, mothers, fear and sell no good suckers. Hype him up, hype him up. Shouts out, showroom, Bracy in the waters. Wake up, morning show, salute, big dog, shout out to the lure. PH, Diva, salute, Brownsville, SBG solution based gang.
Let's go. Oh man, I don't even got my. God damn it. I be tripping sometimes. I be tripping. Hold on. It happens. It happens sometimes. You know. Plays mess up too. Yeah. You know what I mean? Sometimes players mess up too. What up, two? How I sound? How's the microphone sound? That microphone check 1 2. What is this? Good day, everyone. How are we feeling today? You know how we like to start our day with great productive energy. So when I say good day to you, make sure you say it back. Interesting weekend. Wildin', I caught a little bit of a leg injury, pushing a little too hard too soon. God damn it. Pushing a little too hard too soon. Getting my, trying to get there, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get to that. It sounds good. Thank you, Too Strong. I'm trying to get to that, you know, single digit minute mile. You know what I mean? I'm trying to get back to that. I'm trying to get back to that consistency. And you know, you're supposed to, when you didn't do it for a while, you're supposed to go back slowly into it. But I was feeling good. I was feeling strong. I was lifting. I was, you know, I took off like a bullet. I'm flying. I'm like, oh, feeling good. My daughter on the side of me with her bike. You know, I'm keeping up with a bike or with a pedal bike, a mountain gear, 12 speed, and my other daughter is on an electric scooter, and I'm next thing you know, tragedy hit. Leg is on 1,000. Shit. Think I may be running too hard on one side. I don't know. It felt crazy though. And you know, just like how that felt crazy, this whole situation is crazy. And I can't believe it. We're going to pull up some videos about this because it is absolutely insane. Matter of fact, let me go look for the videos right now while y'all getting in the room. Let me pull up some videos about what's going on in our Americas. In our America, which is kind of crazy when you think about it. This is happening in our cities. It ain't supposed to be happening in our cities. This don't make no sense whatsoever. I don't even understand how is this possible. Can somebody please educate me on how is this possible? This shit's crazy. Let's start with, It's wild, man. But we kind of know what the reason is. All right, let's check out these. Gary in the end is still without power. Let's check this one out.
We know what.
Let's check this one out. Wild. ADS. Nice. ADS, that's not too bad. 13 minutes. That's not too bad. I was just today I was on a verge to do an 8-minute mile. I was flying. I was feeling good. ADS, I was the glutes was feeling good, calves was feeling good. I'm flying. 8-minute mile. I was on the verge of checking out my heart rate. My heart rate is at a nice 152. I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm killing it today. Ha, 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 ha. Next thing you know, calf said, couldn't even walk home. Couldn't even walk. Went from running an 8-minute mile to can't walk. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. Man, oh man. Well, you know, it happens. Sometimes it happens. What up, Lee? Good day to you. Unlike Lee, good day to you. ADS, that shit ain't no joke, man. Went from running 8-minute mile to couldn't walk back home. Crazy. Absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. But it's all good now. You know, I just gotta recover. You know what I mean? It is what it is. Just gotta do what I gotta do to recover. That's all. Rest. I gotta get proper rest, proper sleep. I need to stretch out a little bit longer probably. I only stretched out for a half an hour before I started running. Maybe I need to amp that up to 45 minutes to an hour. You know, we getting up there. The bones and them ligaments is getting up there. So, you know, I gotta stretch a little longer, I believe. It is what it is. So now I gotta park myself for the next couple of days and stay light on the legs and see how it feels and make sure I ain't actually pull anything. Hopefully it was just a warning sign to let me know, like, hey, calm your ass down.
They not coming out here though. I mean, it's obvious, you know. It's obvious. Gary is full of, you know, us, diversity. Not really diversity, but it's full of black people. You know, we the blackest city out here. So they don't want to check on us.
Damn.
They're NIPSCO. Everybody pays them. We don't pay, we get cut off. But when disaster happens, they want to charge us X amount of dollars, but we already paying into this. They got billions, trillions of dollars. We working day to day on paychecks. So yes, they could have did better. They got the money. We don't got the money. They say they supposed to maintenance that yearly. They haven't been out here in a year or two, maybe 3 years. I can't sleep at night because I can't plug my sleep apnea machine up. I can't afford a generator. I'm working on a month salary. So therefore, we need them to either give us generators or get this power up and running. We got a 91-year-old man that lived at the end, almost at the end of the thing. They had to rush him to the hospital. We had an elder lady across the street. She had medical condition. She bedridden. People come out to help her also. So we really need them to work more faster because we don't want to lose no lives if we don't have to. Our governor needs to get his butt out here and see the damage. You going in these other neighborhoods, you need to go through the whole city of Gary.
We do see, like, you know, people trying to give out free food and, you know, just give back. The community definitely is doing something with the giving back. They've been giving away free food, especially at the Y here. They've been giving out free food to us and showers, hot showers. So it's definitely good that we all coming together finally. Yeah. We just need more coverage for sure. We need to come together as a community and get it together. We won't be struggling as bad as just one person just struggling. If all come together, we'll be good. You know, something like this, they're giving out free water, free cakes, and famous people here and stuff. We need that. We definitely need that.
And they were all alike. We have differences. We need more help.
Yes.
All of them.
Yes.
Like, we're humans at the end of the day. Nobody is better than the other person. So we all go through similar struggles.
Sheesh. Crazy. What's up, Corinne? Good day to you. Man, that is crazy, man. That is absolutely insane. And this has been going on for over 2 weeks now. People without any electricity whatsoever. That is kind of wild when you really think about that. That is kind of wild. It's really sad. It's really sad. Like it don't make no sense. Let's see. Let's check out this news.
To
broadcast.
Indiana now, where it's been 11 days since powerful storms knocked out electricity to tens of thousands of residents. For many, it's still out, with frustration mounting. CBS's Usher Qureshi is in Gary, Indiana, hit hard by the outage. Usher, good evening to you.
Good evening, Jerika. At this hour, crews are still working while residents are in survival mode. Power is not expected to be restored here for many residents until late Tuesday, and the sense of desperation is growing. Like so many in Gary, Indiana, Shatia Hardin has been waiting for the minute her power finally turns back on.
It's been absolutely horrible. At night, we're sweating, we're irritable. You know, we have children to look out for, elderly people.
The storm walloped Indiana last week, killing at least 7 people and displacing about 1,000.
Wow.
In Gary, the storm knocked out electricity for more than half of the city's residents, where 1 in 3 lives in poverty.
It's not okay for us to continually be in survival mode.
Yesterday, Indiana Governor Mike Braun said he requested an expedited major disaster declaration from FEMA. He says losses from the storm and its aftermath could top $5 billion. Many residents in Gary have been relying on this community center for hot meals, air conditioning, and a chance to charge their phones. Earlier this week, a class action lawsuit was filed against the region's electrical utility, NIPSCO, alleging the company failed to proactively trim back vegetation from power lines. NIPSCO disputes the claim, saying it's more than doubled its vegetation management in the last 10 years. Eddie Melton is the city's mayor.
So we're going to revisit what should we do better from an emergency management standpoint. But going back to the utility side, what I'm going to encourage and demand that we started having more accountability.
Right now, about 30,000 people here in northern Indiana are still without power. For people who are still waiting, if their power doesn't come back until Tuesday, that'll mean they've been in the dark for 2 full weeks. Jerika?
Usher Qureshi in Gary, Indiana tonight. Thank you.
Hey, I don't know. Hey, I don't understand. I do not understand how it is not more coverage, more people, more understanding, more ways to help out these people. Try to get some generators down there. What in the world is going to, if this was LA, New York, it would be national. This is the only thing we'd be talking about. But 2 whole weeks, no electricity. I don't think people really understand the gravity of that situation. When we talking about right down the block, we have the Indiana Fever playing basketball games. That is kind of insane. That is the real problem. Shout out to the plug. So Houston been out of electricity for 2 weeks without coverage, without nobody saying anything, without these big companies like Walmart, Houston Rockets, and Target, and news coverage saying that where you can send water to, where you can send canned food to. Anytime these other major cities get that, it be coverage. I ain't never, so you mean to tell me so hold on. So this way, because this would be news to me. Plug and Bubba Homeschool, y'all been in Houston for 2 weeks without any electricity whatsoever. I'm just curious to understand. Well, over 30,000 people do not have electricity for 2 whole weeks. All right, maybe I'm misinformed. I never heard of this. To be honest, I never heard of this. A storm knocking out full power for 2 whole weeks and nobody knows nothing. If you talking about I don't see this. So you mean to tell me Houston been out of power for 2 whole weeks, but the Houston Rockets still play basketball? So the plug one, so you're saying the Houston Rockets still played basketball, but the Houston city itself didn't have any power? Help me understand that. Because maybe I'm missing that fact. It's a possibility I don't understand. Maybe, maybe I don't understand. You know what I'm saying? Oh, okay. All right. So the plug said, nah, it ain't never went that far. If the city was out, the whole city was out. Got you. Well, in India, you know what I'm saying? Okay. But well, over here in Indiana, guess what? Basketball is still big business. The stadium have full lights. You know what I mean? The Fever can play, but Gary can't turn the lights on. That's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Y'all need, you know what? Y'all need somebody from Indiana to explain something to me, because apparently I don't understand how electricity works. Gary, Indiana gets hit by this massive storm, trees down, power lines destroyed, people losing refrigerators full of food, businesses cannot operate, schools disrupted, families trying to charge phones, right? People trying to figure out where they're going to get a hot meal. And more than a week later, people are still there in the dark. 10 days, 11 days, and I'm looking at Indiana like 10 days. Brother, I get irritated when my Wi-Fi goes out for 10 minutes. So I can't imagine 10 days without no electricity. 10 days without electricity ain't an outage anymore. That's a lifestyle change. At day 3, you're looking for candles. Day 7, you're learning pioneer skills. Day 10, you're outside churning butter. God damn it. You out there churning the butter. God damn it. What up, SD? You're churning butter. You ain't even mad at NIPSCO anymore. You asking anybody how Abraham Lincoln kept milk cold, God damn it. How did Abraham Lincoln do it? And here's what makes the image so crazy. While people in Gary are trying to figure out how to keep insulin cold, how to keep food from spoiling, how to charge medical equipment, how to get elderly, we just played the video, how to get elderly relatives through the heat. Indiana still has professional sports happening. The Indian Fever are still playing basketball. Now hold on. Before somebody gets mad, I'm not blaming Caitlin Clark. I'm not blaming Caitlin. You know what I'm saying? Caitlin ain't supposed to lead the game at halftime with a goddamn two-by. Coach, sub me out. I gotta go fix a transformer in Gary. Speaking of transformers with the WNBA, that is kind of hilarious, by the way, right? Hey, babe. Who's that shushing? Be quiet. What you shushing? Oh, it's Sophie Cunningham's fault. Especially with them kicking out Inez Cantor out the goddamn building. That was kind of crazy too, right? All that is happening. You know what I'm saying? That's not Sophie and Caitlin's job. That is not their job. I'm not blaming the players. I'm not saying cancel the WNBA, even though over this whole T-woman thing is getting ridiculous now. Now they kicking Inez Cantor out the goddamn stadium because he want to wear a shirt that said, I'm a woman. That's ridiculous. I'm asking a much bigger question. How can the machinery of entertainment continue operational normally while thousands of ordinary people in the same state can't get basic necessities restored? That's fascinating to me because America will show you its priorities without ever announcing them. Nobody has to hold a press conference. Just watch what keeps moving America. America always finds electricity for money. They always find electricity for money. America could have a natural disaster, but somehow the Jumbotron still works. Whole neighborhood, dark. Arena, 20 miles away, boom, boom, boom. Everything. Everybody make some noise. Ah! It's crazy. Gary sitting there with flashlights. Meanwhile, somewhere else, tonight's game presented by AT&T. Oh, AT&T got electricity. Okay, download that. They can't charge the phone. Right, you know what I'm saying? This shit is crazy. They can't charge their phone. But maybe electricity ain't scarce. Maybe urgency is. You know what I'm saying? Maybe urgency is. Hey, babe. That's you there, babe? Yeah. Can you do me a favor? So, you know, that's just kind of crazy. Shout out to Shadow the Titan Wise. Money makes money. At least that's what they convinced America of. That's what they convinced America of. They convinced us that, hey, do not care for your neighbor. Do not care for your community. As long as you're doing good, that's all that actually matters. I never said, so shout out to Alan. Alan is somebody that doesn't listen very well. I never said that Fever Home Stadium was in Gary, Indiana. Did I say that? Maybe I misspoke, but I don't believe I said anything even close to that. I never said it was. So why are you bringing that up? I'm not sure. Maybe you'll let me know through a super chat or a cash app. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you'll let me know through a super chat or a cash app to why you believe that was an important thing to say. Now let's talk about Gary, because this isn't just any city. We talking about Gary, Indiana, a city that's roughly 4/5 black. And that's where the conversation gets uncomfortable, because I'm not going to stand here and tell you Gary doesn't have power because black people live there. No. I can't prove that. You know what I'm saying? I cannot prove that. And anybody making that claims as a fact, you know, we need the evidence. But I can ask a question. And Americans, especially black Americans, know this question very well. Would everybody be in this, you know, if this was happening somewhere else? That's the question, because 10 days is a long time. Imagine a wealthy suburb going 10 days without power. I don't know what you're talking about, Oak Street, but please inform me. Please inform me. So I don't know what Gary residence shooting has anything to do with power. You saying that every last residence is shooting? You saying those old folks that they try to rush to the hospital is shooting? This is unfortunate. You know what I'm saying? Day 2, we need answers. Day 3, the governor is standing next to a goddamn transformer wearing a hard hat he has absolutely no idea how to use. Go ahead, Venus. Venus said it, not me. And you know, and that's the thing that they always want to try to hold, especially conservative men. They always want to hold that. Oh, Master P said it, so therefore that's a black man, so therefore it must be. Angry Man said it, he's a black man, so therefore it must be okay. Byron Donald said it. He's a black man, so therefore it must be okay. And the list goes on and on. They always would try to use some kind of black man as some kind of scapegoat to why this is happening. It doesn't matter if there's a black mayor there or not. The fact of the matter is that black mayor that is in Gary, Indiana, he's not getting the help that he needs to get the power back on. That's the conversation you got to be having. It doesn't matter if he's a black mayor. The problem is that they don't have power for 10 days and it is not getting any kind of news coverage whatsoever compared to other places in America. Most people, I don't even think, knew that Gary, Indiana was under no power for 10, 14 days. You know that politician, brand new, clean as hell, vest ain't got no speck of dirt on it, standing next to a lineman like, and I get it. Oak Street saying that they trying to, they shooting at the lineman. So I'm guessing Oak Street is saying that they don't want the power back on. That's why they're shooting at the lineman. We get it. They got the news conference. A few people that is out there. We're working around the clock. Brother, you ain't working around nothing. You took 4 pictures and got back in your Suburban. But at least everybody would be there. News trucks, politicians, officials, national attention, 10 days. Come on. We need national attention for this. By day 10, Anderson Cooper should be living there. That's what should be happening. So there's 2 Indianas, right? That's the issue that's really happening. That's what this story makes me think about, because apparently there are 2 Indianas. There's Indiana where the lights come on and everybody gets entertained. And there's Indiana where you open the refrigerator and smell $300 worth of groceries dying. That's different. One Indiana has, ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the national anthem. The other Indiana has, baby, don't open the refrigerator, don't open the freezer again. Every black household knows that voice, by the way. Don't open that freezer. We gotta see if, look, right, and just keeping, they probably gotta keep, ice in the freezers just to try to maintain something. Every time you open that door, we losing 45 minutes. That freezer has become Fort Knox. Kids, and we know kids just like to walk in and just open up doors. Oak Street, if you want, let me know. I could drop the link for you. I don't know what I'm being disingenuous about. Am I wrong about the Indiana Fever just had a basketball game? Am I wrong? Did the Indiana Fever just have a basketball game? I'm just curious to understand. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm trying to understand. I wanted, and the kids they just want a popsicle because it's hot as hell. That's all. It's hot as hell. They just want a popsicle. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. So maybe we need to talk about who's as well. I'm not sure. You make it seem like you know what's crazy about it? I guess you feel like it's okay. Maybe we shouldn't even have a conversation about it. Maybe you're okay with Gary, Indiana not having power. But we need to have conversations about these type of things. And we need to get these people some coverage so we can put more pressure on these goddamn companies that's making plenty of money. They're making plenty of money to get this thing right. They quick to cut your ass off. And how many, Oak Street, how many are you highlighting? Instead of adding to the conversation and adding to other towns, can you please do the opposite? I don't know why you don't want to talk about Gary. But I'm highlighting at least one of them because I'm not even from there. But yet you want to try to go against me for some strange reason, Oak Street. That's very weird. I don't know why would you feel a certain way about me talking about Gary not having power for 2 weeks. Insane. Power outages. Power outages are expensive. Oh, that's what it is, Oak Street. You want me to talk about the white areas that is having power issues. That's what Oak Street have an issue. You want me to talk about the white areas that have power issues, because if I was talking about the white areas that have power issues, then you'll be more empathetic and sympathetic to the situation. It's very interesting when you hear it, you know, when people say it loud and clear. It's crazy. That's crazy. Because Oak Street, can you show me out of these 13 different counties, can you please explain to me where and what content creator you know is talking about those other counties? Are these power outages at all? This is crazy to me. I would like to understand. I don't know what DYOR is. Power outages are expensive. That's what I do know. And here's what people don't understand. Losing electricity. Losing electricity isn't just inconvenient. He's telling me to do my own research. I am doing my own research. It's crazy. It's insane. Charlotte said he didn't even know about it too. It's crazy. Losing electricity isn't just inconvenient. What up, Otis? Who? It's not just an inconvenience. It's expensive, especially if you're already struggling. If you are already struggling, losing electricity is going to be very expensive. And I always find it interesting that I'm the one that is just attempting to bring up conversations, and everybody have an issue with me bringing up a conversations where it is nobody else on YouTube even talking about those other 13 counties that he is talking about at all. So losing electricity is very expensive. Food spoils. Now you got to replace groceries. Maybe can't cook. Now you're buying prepared food. Maybe you need a hotel. Maybe you're missing work. Maybe child schools is closed. Now you got child care. Maybe your medicine needs refrigeration. Every day creates another expense. Rich people experience a power outage differently. They just do. So in those other colonies that you're talking about, maybe those where the rich folks live. So maybe they experience it different. than the people that I'm talking about. Rich person's electricity goes out, honey, start the generator. Poor person's electricity goes out, what generator? You know what I'm saying? You know, the good thing about it is not in the wintertime. You know, that's a great thing. Rich person will stay at the hotel. Poor person with what money? Rich person, let's just eat out. Poor person, what was the money used for the groceries? That just spoiled. Right? What money? They just used all their money for the groceries. And it's spoiled. That's why infrastructure failure aren't equal. The same outage can be an inconvenience for one family and a goddamn financial emergency for another. The generator economy, you know who wins during the blackout. The guy who already owned a generator. That man becomes the neighborhood Jeff Bezos. Suddenly everybody negotiating outlets. Right? Hey man, can I plug my phone in? What you got? I know people get into squabbles over goddamn generators. They try driving through neighborhoods. They hear a generator on. Hey, if I give you $10, can I charge this? Can I put this on this? Can I plug my phone in? What you got? I got 2 waters. Shit, USB-C? Yeah. 3 waters for that. You know what I'm saying? By day 8, you know, this dude's running a utility company out the garage. Extension cords going through 6 houses. He got billing cycles. Your payment was due Tuesday, brother. You bought this generator at Home Depot. Calm down. Relax. Shit is wild. You bought this generator at Home Depot. Now you out here charging goddamn utility bills. But that's what happens when systems fail. People create survival systems, and Gary residents have been doing exactly that kind of thing. Finding food, finding generators, finding charging stations, helping neighbors, trying to keep businesses running. You know, shout out to the community. The community steps in. The community steps in where infrastructure isn't moving fast enough. And we celebrate that. But sometimes I think we celebrate resilience way too much. You ever notice how officials love calling struggling communities resilient? Black people have been called resilient so much, I'm starting to think it's a threat. Shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? They're incredibly resilient, right? We are incredibly resilient. Stop complimenting us, right? And fix the lights. I don't want to hear you say I'm resilient. Fix the goddamn thing. That's it. Don't want another opportunity to demonstrate resilience. I'm done with that. Tired of it. I don't want to show any more resilience. I don't want to do this anymore. Shit. Demonstrated it already. Slavery. Resilient. Jim Crow. Resilient. Redlining, resilient. Deindustrialization, resilient. Now the transformer exploded. Let's see what they get out of that. Like shit. Enough, goddammit. Enough is enough. Conversations with MJ. Sharon, have you seen any organizations that I can give some resources. And do you know if anyone knows if Swab BOS is okay? I don't have his contact anymore. I don't know. So yeah, I've been trying to find it. That's another problem with it's not enough information to even send water, to send cans of food. We have no real information still after 14 days. That's the craziest part, because I was trying to find somewhere I could post it while I'm talking. It's nothing really, I don't know. And that's a problem. We should have like at least some kind of little bootleg telethon or something. I have no idea where we could send any kind of financials, any kind of bottled water, any kind of canned goods, any generator. What the hell is going on down there? You know what I'm saying? Like, goddamn, the transformers broke. Nah, we are out of resilience. That's it. Goddamn it, we are out of resilience. Please send electricity. And this is why demographics matter. And this is why I don't think it's crazy to talk about Gary's demographics. Even though it's people on this platform right now that's in the chat, and they can say, as long as they keeping it respectful, it's all gay. It's all good. Gary's demographics. Again, demographics don't prove motive. It doesn't prove the motive, but demographics matters when we talking about two experiences, infrastructure fails, because history matters. Gary wasn't always viewed as some forgotten city. Gary was an industrial powerhouse. Still jobs. Families, people migrated there looking for opportunity. And then industries changed. Jobs disappeared, population collapsed, tax bases weakened, infrastructure aged. And who was left carrying much of that burden? Who? A heavily black population. So when disaster hits, it doesn't hit a blank sheet of paper. It hits everything that already existed. That's the part people miss. A storm doesn't understand racism. Wind ain't racist. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's just not. Make sure y'all hit that like and the share button. That's how we support the channel. Hey, hit the like button, hit the share button, and if you can, we got 2 super chats. Put some color in the chat. You know what I'm saying? A 99-mile-an-hour wind gust ain't looking down, you know, and say, where the black neighborhood at? No. Nature is indiscriminate. But the conditions people are living in when nature arrives are not always indiscriminate. That's the conversation. A hurricane doesn't check your credit score. Storm comes through, it comes through everybody's neighborhood. But recovery checks your bank account. Storm, I treat everybody. I treat everybody equally. That's what the storm say. Recovery, what's your zip code? I'm sorry. Shout out to Conversations with MJ. Suave Boss is from Gary, Indiana. He's the content creator of the Argument League channel. My bro. Shout out to Suave Boss in Gary, Indiana. Thank you, Ms. J. Thank you so much, Conversation with MJ. So according to your zip code. You know, the storm is like, hey, I knocked everybody's tree down. Recovery? Do you have homeowners insurance? Storm. I took the roof. Recovery. Please hold. What the fuck? That's America. The disaster can be equal. The recovery ain't necessarily equal. That's the issue that we have. And then there's, sports. All right. Sports make this contrast especially visible because sports is one of the things America is extraordinarily good at organizing. Think about what it takes to run a professional basketball team. Thousands of people, security, television crews, broadcast, satellites, lightning, food vendors, ticket system, parking, police, transportation, medical personnel, corporate sponsors, merchandise, Wi-Fi, air conditioner, music, cameras, statistics updated in real time. They know how fast Caitlin Clark shots left her fingertips. Oak Street, you say one more bullshit and you are gone for the day. Say something else that doesn't have anything to do with what I'm talking about, you're gone for the day. You could do that shit somewhere else. Go have that conversation with somebody that is not talking about Indiana. How about that? But that's the issue that a lot of people have. Y'all always want to go after the person that's actually attempting to bring some kind of understanding to what's happening around the world with our people. It's crazy. It's crazy to see how many people go against us as a people, get so much likes and shares, and then somebody that is talking up for the situations that we are going through gets no likes and shares. You know what I'm saying? That shit is crazy to me. They got, you know what I'm saying? Like, so let me get back to Caitlin Clark. They know when the goddamn ball leave her fingertips in 2.2 seconds, right? They got 12 cameras calculating the trajectory, release angle, 48 degrees. They got all that information. Gary, any idea when my refrigerator is going to work? Tuesday? You know what I'm saying? That shit is crazy. We can track basketball in 3 dimensions, but the Transformers is a mystery. And again, these aren't literally the same resources. The WNBA isn't running the power grid. I get that. But symbolically, the contrast hits hard because it shows you what organized investment looks like. When somebody has money behind it, everybody has a job. Everybody has a timeline. Everybody has accountability. Something breaks inside that arena. Somebody's getting on the phone, called immediately. You know, imagine the arena losing power. Imagine that. You know, imagine Gamebridge Fieldhouse loses powers 5 minutes before tip-off. You think somebody's gonna say, we estimate to get restored in approximately 10 to 14 days? No. 10 to 14 days? Adam Silver would parachute out of a helicopter with with jumper cables, god damn it, before they let an NBA game. Come on. ESPN would have an emergency command center, engineers crawling through the ceiling, somebody from corporate screaming, "We have a national broadcast," and that's just what it is. We have a national broadcast. Money creates urgency. Visibility creates urgency. And that's why we need more visibility on this subject. It's important for people to create urgency. So we need some urgency from y'all. We need some urgency to hit the like button. We need some urgency to hit the share button. I do not understand for the life of me why so many people that is saying negative things get so much urgency. Because somebody please make it make sense. Let's see. Let me check. You got to say something?
No.
Oh, what you said?
No, I was
So who?
You're not sure?
Yeah.
Oh.
I thought you said.
It was on me.
Oh, okay. Let's check this one out.
People are fighting over generators. There is no gas.
Days after a historic storm tore through Gary, Indiana, thousands of residents are still sitting in the dark. Powerful derecho brought winds up to 99 miles per hour, destroying trees, poles, and power lines across the area. Now families are sharing their blackout struggles online while crews work to restore power. Some residents say they feel forgotten. How long is too long to wait?
People are fighting over generators. There is no gas.
Days after a historic storm tore through Gary, Indiana, thousands of residents are still sitting in the dark. Powerful derecho brought winds up to 99 miles per hour, destroying trees, poles, and power lines across the area. Now families are sharing their blackout struggles online while crews work to restore power. Some residents say they feel forgotten. How long is too long to wait?
People are fighting over generators. There is no gas.
Days after a historic storm tore through Gary, Indiana, thousands of residents are still sitting in the dark. Powerful derecho brought winds up to 99 miles per hour, destroying trees, poles, and power lines across the area. Now families are sharing their blackout struggles online while crews work to restore power. Some residents say they feel forgotten. How long is too long to wait?
People are fighting over generators. There is no gas.
Days after a historic storm tore through Gary, Indiana, thousands of residents are still sitting in the dark. Powerful derecho brought winds up to 99 miles per hour, destroying trees, poles, and power lines across the area. Now families are sharing their blackout struggles online while crews work to restore power. Some residents say they feel forgotten. How long is too long to wait?
People are fighting over generators. There is no gas.
Days after a historic storm tore through Gary, Indiana, thousands of residents are still sitting in the dark. Powerful derecho brought winds up to 99 miles per hour, destroying.
Hold on, see a different one.
I've been out of power since Tuesday of last week, and I'm still sitting in the dark. I got my grandmother with me, so we have to go out, get our phone charged, get food. We have to throw away the food, trees in the lawn.
Communities of color are left behind and always feel like they're the last to get turned on or the last to get rescued in these situations.
It's not okay for us to continually be in survival mode.
We need to have a light at the end of the tunnel.
It's been pretty rough.
More than a week and a half after devastating storms swept through Indiana, killing at least 7 people, thousands are still without power. Utility crews working around the clock, but the thousands of lingering outages remain concentrated in the northwestern part of the state. And ground zero of the outages is centered in Michael Jackson's hometown of Gary, Indiana. Utility company NIPSCO says some 40,000 in the region could remain in the dark until sometime next week. News Nation correspondent Alex Capriello is live for us there in Gary. So, Alex, what is the situation there?
Yeah, Nicole, it's been 10 days since this storm hit Gary, Indiana, and scenes just like this one are playing out all across the city. You see these downed trees and the downed power lines that still need to be cleaned up. The result is tens of thousands of people that live here in this city still without power.
I mean, just at all of the years of my life, I've never seen this much devastation, this much damage.
New numbers from the Northern Indiana Public Service Company, also known as NIPSCO, show around 43,000 customers are still without power. 16,000 of those are in Gary, including Gary Mayor Eddie Melton. Melton has repeatedly voiced his frustrations with NIPSCO, saying the utility company needs to do more to restore power to his city. His administration has now requested additional utility crews and linemen to help speed up recovery efforts.
Just imagine someone with medical conditions, individuals that haven't been able to talk to family members around the country, reaching out, wondering how they're doing. So this is frightening for a lot of folks.
And many Gary residents are taking their frustrations straight to social media, calling for more help and questioning why it's taking so long to restore power.
Like a horror movie out here.
Some are also alleging that Gary's racial demographics are playing a role in how quickly resources are reaching the community. Thousands of residents are now taking legal action against NIPSCO. A lawsuit filed against NIPSCO claims this damage and the power outages could have been prevented if the utility company had better managed the vegetation and trees that grows around the power lines.
They have to be accountable to the people they've harmed, physically, financially, whatever. They would like to blame it on an untoward weather event. Well, we know there's going to be weather events every year. At the end of the day, it's NIPSCO. And unless we hold them to account, they're not going to change.
Relief is also coming from the state. Governor Mike Braun requested an expedited disaster declaration from FEMA and brought in the National Guard to help communities recover. The emergency declaration will allow impacted Hoosiers to receive up to $5,000 in recovery assistance.
Many of us that believe in God and believe that our faith is what helps us endure these storms, I truly believe that this is going to make us stronger at the end.
We reached out to NIPSCO to see if they have any sort of comment about this lawsuit that was recently announced. We're still waiting to hear back.
All right, Alex Capriello live for us there in Gary. Thank you.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our News Nation app right now.
So now that we see that, I ain't the only one. So it's so interesting to see that, you know, like, I ain't the only one that look at it in the way I'm looking at it, but I'm pretty sure Oak Street would never say anything about it. You know, it is what it is. It is what it is. He's gonna attack the person that he could talk to, because he has nobody to talk to, or she has nobody to talk to. I'm not sure which one is Oak Street. It's very interesting to see, nonetheless, how people want to attack the person that has nothing to do with it. Shout out to Peasy Ain't Going, holding me down. Thank you so much, Peasy Ain't Go, with the $10 super sticker. Much appreciated to you, my brother. Thank you so much. It is so interesting. It is. I get it. It was a massive storm. And I get it, but it was a massive storm. And I get it. And let's be fair. This was a serious storm. We're talking extraordinary winds, trees down, utility infrastructure severely damaged. Crews have restored power to hundreds of thousands of customers, right? That's real work. Yeah. I'm not sitting there insulting the linemen. Those people are outside doing dangerous work while everybody else is complaining on Facebook. I get that. Respect to them. This isn't some lazy dude at NIPSCO forgot to flip the switch, right? I get that. Infrastructure repair after a major storm can be incredibly complicated. But you can respect the workers and question the system. Those are not contradictory ideas. You understand what I'm saying, Money Marco? Because if one storm can leave tens of thousands of people vulnerable for this storm, maybe the question isn't only why isn't the power back yet? Maybe it's why was the system this vulnerable in the first place? That's the bigger infrastructure. I get it. That's bigger. The infrastructure is boring until it fails somebody. We get that. And then now we want to talk about infrastructure. It's boring. I get it. Politicians get on television. We're replacing electrical distribution infrastructure. Click. Gone. I get it. Next channel. I understand. But politician says, Caitlin Clark, wait. What happened? It's men trying to play in the basketball game. Gets a click. I get it. Infrastructure isn't sexy. Nobody sells jersey with transformers on them. Nobody standing outside the utility company, yo, let me get that new NIPSCO jersey. Number 240 volts. I get it. But infrastructure determines whether civilization works. You understand? You don't appreciate the electrical grid until you sit in your living room sweating at 2:30 in the morning. Wondering if the chicken is still good. Right? And then we got the zip code test. And here's the test I always use. Whether something like this happens, change the zip code. Same storm, same damage, number of people, but move it into the wealthiest communities in America. Now ask yourself, would the response feel the same? Would the media attention be the same? Would political pressure be the same? Would corporations be responding the same? Maybe, maybe not, but it's worth asking because America has a long history of geography becoming a polite substitute for talking about class and race. Nobody says we're neglecting black people. They don't say it out loud. No, they say, unfortunately, that municipality has a constrained tax base. Shit. Oh, that sounds much nicer. Nobody says poor people got screwed. They say resource allocations remain challenging. Resource allocation? Grandma hasn't had electricity since last Tuesday. And this is the thing. Majority of black people know corporate language. They got a phrase for everything you call. You know, so you call, right? You call them, when is the power coming back? We appreciate your patience. I ain't patient. You don't appreciate my patience because I don't have any. My patience is gone. They done. I don't have any. Day 1, patient. Day 2, understanding. Day 4, concerned. Day 7, I'm outside looking at the ponds like I took a goddamn electrical engineering course overnight. Get put my damn toothbrush on me. Put my life jacket, put my hard hat. You see that wire right there? That don't look right. That wire right there. You don't know shit about electricity. No, I do not. But after 10 days, shit, you an expert. Where the hell is Sway at? I'm an expert. Nah. See that right there? That's the secondary conductor. You learned that on Google 6 minutes ago. So what? So what? I learned that 6 minutes ago. You know what I'm saying? What about the kids? And then think about families. Kids can't just stop being kids because electricity went out. They still need food. They still need baths. They still need school. They still need entertainment. Try and explain a 10-day outage to a 6-year-old. When are the lights coming back? Thank you so much, Maya Reed. We don't know. Can I watch YouTube? No. Can I play Roblox? No. Can I charge the iPad? No. That child gonna personally find the damn CEO of NEPSCO and but all serious, kids can tolerate poverty, right? We understand. I come from poverty. Kids can tolerate disaster. Take away YouTube though. Now we have an organized resistance, god damn it. You know what I'm saying? The kids can't go. But jokes aside, right? Because I'm trying to make this a little bit light at the same time because it's a heavy topic. It's very heavy. All jokes aside, here's what, what bothers, people don't expect the government or corporations to prevent every disaster. That's impossible. People understand storms happen, trees falls, equipment breaks. What people expect is to feel like their emergency. Drink some water. People expect is like to feel like their emergency is being treated like an emergency. That's it. People want urgency, communication, resources, visibility, accountability. And when you sitting in Gary watching normal life continue everywhere else, I can understand why you feel forgotten, especially when your city is overwhelmingly black, especially when your city has a history of economic abandonment, especially when you watch America find billions of dollars and thousands of workers for projects it considers important. We always find money for what we value, right? America is not a poor country. We are an interesting country because we tell you we simply don't have the resources. Then something happens that powerful people care about, and suddenly resources come out the walls. Billions. Where was that? We found emergency funding. Found? What? What? We found emergency funding. Found it? Where? Behind the couch? Government talking like my grandmother. I knew I had $20 somewhere, baby. Shit. No, we have resources. The debate is always about priorities. Sports aren't the enemy, and I want to emphasize this, right? The Indiana Fever are not the enemy. Sports aren't the enemy. The players aren't responsible for Gary's electrical grid, right? People deserve entertainment. People deserve basketball. And frankly, sports can give people joy during terrible times. The point isn't turn off the Indianapolis until Gary comes back. No. Shout out to Natasha Vince. She said, stay hydrated. Yes. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Natasha Vincent. Stay hydrated. Turn off, I'm not saying turn off the Indianapolis until Gary comes back. I am not saying that. That's ridiculous. The point is, why can't America demonstrate championship level urgency for basic infrastructure too? That's the question. If we can organize a professional sporting event down to the second, why can't we build infrastructure systems where a major American city doesn't spend nearly 2 weeks wondering when the lights are coming back? We need power. God damn. Maybe that's what maybe infrastructure competitiveness, right? I don't know. Put it on ESPN. Welcome to Power Grid Center. Gary has entered day 11 without electricity. Stephen A. Smith, this is unacceptable. Now, all of a sudden, shit's getting fixed. Put betting odds on it. Gary, 150 to have electricity by Tuesday. DraftKings bet $5 on transformer restoration and receive 200 in bonus bets. Now politicians are interested. Get commentators. Johnson approaches the utility pole. He got excellent ladder technique. Absolutely one of the best linemen in the Midwest. Oh, Transformers up! Crowd goes crazy! Gary residents, we got power! We got power! Maybe that's the trick. I don't know, goddamn. I don't know. Maybe that's the trick. I don't know. America only understands emergencies when there's a scoreboard. Put the scoreboard up, so let's make one, goddammit, right? Day 1 without power. You know, day 5, day 8, day 10, put that on television, because when numbers are hidden in reports, there's statistics, right? And when you see somebody's grandmother sitting in a dark house, throwing away everything in her freezer, that's a person. And sometimes marginalized communities become statistics way too easy. 20,000 customers remain without service. Customers, that's families, that's children, that's elderly people, that's workers, that's somebody who's bought $180 worth of groceries on Monday. And we all know they was preparing for this goddamn hurricane. So, you know, a lot of people, they go out and buy extra groceries when these things happen. So that's a lot of money going down the, you know. And that's why, you know, I'm sorry to say, but that's why race enters the conversation. Somebody will, you know, inevitably say, why do y'all make everything about race? Because history doesn't disappear just because talking about it makes people uncomfortable. You know what I'm saying? And that's just the truth of the matter. Shout out to Italian Wise with, how many is that? 1,000 jewels. GOAT trophy. Yeah, I'm the GOAT. Yeah. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Shout out to Shadow the Titan Wasp. Thank you so much. You know, when an overwhelmingly black city experienced a prolonged infrastructure crisis, asking whether race, class, geography, and decades of disinvestment affect vulnerability and recovery is a legitimate question. That doesn't mean every broken transformer is racist, right? That's not what I'm saying. Nobody's walking up to the transformers. Sir, explain this old tweets. No, that's not what we said. What up, GOAT? You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Time Bob. Stay hydrated. You know what? Let me drink some more water. Thank you so much. You know I can't talk when I'm not hydrated. Shout out to Time Wasp. It's crazy, GOAT. It's absolutely insane to me. But they get mad at me, GOAT. You know how it should be. And so, right, so that's the crazy part, right? Where we're talking about systems where investments happens, where infrastructure gets modernized, where communities have political leverage. Which communities have wealth? Which communities receive attention? Those things matter. The most American picture, right? And that's the image I can't get out of my head. One part of Indiana, bright lights, television cameras, music, basketball, thousands cheering. Another part, people sitting outside because their houses are dark, charge his phone wherever they can, throwing away food, waiting and waiting and waiting again. Those two things aren't directly causing each other. But put those images next to each other. That's America. Not because basketball is bad. Because we become unbelievable, efficient, and delivering spectacle and strangely comfortable with people waiting for necessities. Gary shouldn't have to become famous for being without electricity before everybody pays attention. A community shouldn't need celebrities. It shouldn't need a viral hashtag. It shouldn't need it shouldn't need national outrage. It shouldn't need somebody on YouTube yelling about it. People pay utility bills. People pay taxes. People work. People raise children. They're Americans. That should be enough. And yes, we should acknowledge the scale of the storm. Yes, acknowledge the crews working around the clock. Yes, acknowledge hundreds of thousands of restorations. But after 10 days, 11 days, 2 weeks, citizens are allowed to say, this is not acceptable. And when the city's suffering is overwhelmingly black, we are allowed to ask uncomfortable questions about whose suffering generates urgency in America, not declare an answer without evidence, right? Ask the question. Because history has earned us the right to ask it. So enjoy the game, cheer for the fever, watch Caitlin Clark pull up from 30 feet. I ain't mad at basketball. But somewhere during the commercial break, somebody in power needs to remember there's another scoreboard in Indiana, and those numbers matter too. Families without power, businesses closed, food spoiled, schools disrupted, days waited, and that's the scoreboard. And Gary has been losing on that scoreboard for far too long. So keep the arena lights on, but get Gary lights on too. Because if Indiana can make sure thousands of people can sit underneath bright lights and watch somebody put a ball through a hoop, people in Gary have every right to ask, when the hell can I turn my refrigerator? When can I turn on my refrigerator? And after 10 damn days? That's not asking for special treatment. That's asking for electricity. It's crazy. But yet, you know, people fight me. Well, y'all don't hear me though. Goat, they don't hear me though. Shout out to my guy, man. Always showing up. It says for the Cash App, it says support the show 100. Thank you so much. See, like when things like that happen, when my people do come through, and the ones that are hitting the like button, hitting the Cash App, and hitting the super chat. I know I don't have that many of y'all, but man, it makes. I appreciate it. I really appreciate it. It doesn't matter the amount. The fact that you're hitting the like, the share, and y'all sending me 99 cents and more is much, it gets me through understanding the fight that we got to go through. So I really appreciate every last one of y'all that show love. Seriously, it keeps the fight possible. Because I could easily just, I could just go back to, doing my construction thing and who cares, right? But I think that it is a void that is needed, that we have to keep on fighting the good fight. But I definitely need y'all help with that. But salute to everybody that is fighting with me, man. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much to the Cash Apps and Super Chats, likes, and shares. It's important because things is getting stranger and stranger as these days are turning. Like now we got Master P talking about. Like this conservative black man shit is just getting stranger. Like I thought it was dying out, and then we had Master P coming trying to read. I don't know. It gets weird. How Master P got the nerve to say slavery doesn't matter. Just crazy. Can you imagine? No other people who do some shit like that, goddamn it. It's just crazy. Shout out to the Cash App. It says, I appreciate you. Thank you so much, man. I really appreciate that. It really makes my day moves, especially dealing with my goddamn leg injury and everything now. I gotta stay still. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. It'd be crazy out here. Thank you. It'd be crazy to see. Sometimes it's just so wild to see how much negativity, like even though I don't get to see that much negativity because I try to clean my algorithm as much as I possibly can. But it's definitely wild to see how much of that other should be getting pushed out there. That other should get likes and shares. It should be mind-boggling me. I'm like, God damn, how is that possible? So the Schuster Speaks says, what's weird is black folks still supporting the Democratic Party. Well, majority of black folks live in places where they have to support the Democratic Party. Maybe the Schuster, if you want, you can hit the link and you can explain yourself why you think that, what direction you think black folks should go to. I'm more than willing to have the conversation. What party would be better off for black folks? And once you say the party, also please explain how that party will help black folks more. I'm interested. Please hit the link so we can have a conversation. please have your camera on so we can have a conversation about it. It's very simple. I'll lay my claim for Gary, Indiana. Hopefully, Gary, Indiana, we could get some coverage. It'd be dope if more people hit the like and share so we could just get more visibility on Gary, Indiana. So people that look like me could get some answers. Shout out to Brother Noomsy. Thank you, Brother Noomsy. I'm tempted to just do my part sometimes. It's not always about, and I get it. If I talk about the certain things, it's gonna go up. I understand that. And for the most part, yeah, I'm here to make some money as well. But at the same time, I'm also here to push out my people as well. Push out if somebody needs some help. I'm attempting to do my part. And Big J, for you to come back on, you got to start paying down your goddamn layaway, Big J. Big J, $20 a week, and then you could come back on the panel. That's it. You got to put on your layaway. God damn it. Send $20, Big J, and we got you on layaway. As long as you pay your $20 every week, you could come up to the panel until you reach your quota. It's that simple. Send $20, Big J, and you could talk. That was the stipulation. Until your fee is paid up. God damn it, Big J. Why not? Why not, Big J? Jesus. I don't know why Big J treated me that way. I never did nothing to Big J. I don't know, Shot. I don't know why Big J treat me that way. I did nothing to that man. You know what I'm saying?
I don't want to be on the panel as he's in the back.
It's all good. So I guess drop what you want to say, Big J, and I would speak it to the people. Cause maybe he want to give me some. Maybe he want to give me some information to relate to the people. So shout out to Big J. But what up, Shadow? What's your thoughts on this craziness that's going on?
He also wants to give you $20.
Huh?
He also wants to give you $20.
Hopefully. Mm-hmm.
No. Okay. So I've got a cousin apparently near Gary, or I guess he's in a Gary subdivision, like Miller Beach or something. He says he's had power since Saturday, but he went out for 5 days.
That's a long time. Yeah. That's a long time. Tell him to hit the link so he can tell me. Oh, he probably can't even hit the link. Goddamn. No, he got power now, right?
Yeah, no, I'll send it to him.
Shout out to a brother. Shout out to a brother Noomsy with this super sticker. Thank you so much for the super sticker, brother Noomsy. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Yeah.
All right, I sent it.
Yeah. You know what I mean? So it's kind of crazy. So hopefully, homeboy, he could come up and hit the panel. He said he don't understand why black folks is supporting the Democratic Party. I always find that very interesting. What you mean you don't understand why? Especially as what the Republican Party has been producing in the last year. What you mean you don't understand why? That's crazy to me.
I mean, I get the question.
How? You understand what he's saying?
I mean, I think both the Republican, even though I'm a conservative, but I believe the Republican Party and the Democrat Party are both SOLing black people above everything else. Like, if there was a balanced independent party that actually was for black people, I'd say that's where we should go. But we're not a big enough population to make something like that happen.
Yeah. And majority of people that do have that sentiment of why do black folks support the Democratic Party, they never, so far I haven't experienced somebody that could give a proper explanation to why they should choose a different party. Like, hey, what because in reality, both those parties is full of rich folks that don't know nothing about what's really going on in the party. You know what I'm saying? That's the reality of it, right? We need to just vote for policies, not necessarily red or blue. We need to be just voting policies and get the best policies out of whatever candidate that wins. That's how we
Yeah,
should really
policy.
be attacking this situation. But and I get it why most people are just considered black folks just automatically Democrats. I get that because I'm not even for or against either side, to be honest. At times, but what I do realize is that for the most part, Democrats are moving a little bit better towards bigger cities, I would say. So since I live in a bigger city, I gotta vote mostly Democrat. I got mostly Democratic ideologies. So if I had to choose a side, I would have to choose Democrats by the policies for, what I'm saying, that they mostly align with what big cities need.
Shh, don't say that in China. But no, so here's the thing. I think the Democratic Party is good for socialist agendas. And I don't mean like a socialism like Marxism. Hold on.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean like socially preserving policies. Like welfare, great for welfare states, right? As you said, cities with millions of people who don't have enough funds to go around to everybody. So I can see something like that. I mean, shit, I'm in Dallas. There's 3.5 million people here. I understand why the Democratic Party is up here. But like I can look down at Houston and be like, yeah, Houston's got 2.1. And I can see why Houston's leaning. Like, I think you were the one who kind of gave me that perspective that I didn't have. That necessity that, you know what, when you have more people, you kind of need to lean towards social programs. You need to pay more attention to the people because you get a lot more homeless people. You get a lot more people who need food stamps. You get a lot more people who aren't employed. But I think there needs to be a balance because if you are working and your income tax is more than like 14%, that's kind of wild. You know what I mean? Like I like Texas and Montana because they don't have state income tax. So, and most of what I make, I don't pay any taxes, and that goes directly towards my family. I think that's a better program than just saying I'll give you free money at the end of the year. No, just let me keep the money I'm already making. I'd rather use the money during the year than at the end of it. You know what I mean?
So the main issue that like some of the things that I be having is that like also under the Democratic Party, we see the economy usually do better, and I think that's the new term that people are using nowadays is socialism is like the new trigger word. First it used to be, oh, you a liberal. That was like a negative. That was like a curse word on you. Oh, you damn liberal. Like that's supposed to be something bad. And now the new version, I guess the liberal thing it's not working anymore. So now they use socialism. They say, oh, you just a socialist. And it's just a weird new slur that they got in politics that I do find weird that it's coming up a lot. And I guess you got to blame Mandami because he said it himself that he was a socialist. So, so I get it why they looking at all Democrats now are just socialists, So he started that, I guess, but it's weird.
I'd rather be called a socialist than a liberal, in truth, because there's certain things I'm not going to be liberal about. Keep in mind, that's a lot of that's more because I'm older now. But when I was in college, yeah, I voted for Obama in both of his terms, I think. Yeah. No, I voted for him in the second term because he was the first person I could vote for. I definitely wasn't going to vote the other way around. But so I can see how age also changes a lot of ways. And I think people who are making more money a lot do consider the other way around. because they want to figure out how to hold on to more of that money for their families, you know?
So, you know, and I do find it interesting that people that are not rich are so concerned with the rich people holding on to their money. You know what I'm saying? Like, that is crazy interesting to me. Like, you are not a rich person by any means, and you worrying about if rich people are getting taxed more. That's a very
I don't
weird
care.
thing to me.
I, let me counteract that real quick. No, I don't care if they're making keeping more of their money. But here's the thing. I believe anybody working for their money should be able to keep more of their money, irrespective of what that keep is. So I think no matter who you are, I like all the tax cuts, tax breaks, all that. I'm not down. If you're gonna charge somebody in taxes, don't charge me less because I make more. That sounds ridiculous. Hey, this is
Do you
our
think,
flat
I got
tax
a
rate.
question. So the person that has a mansion up in the suburbs, he got plenty of acreage, and you know, it's just him and his wife and his two families. I mean, his two children and a dog, versus a apartment building in the heart of the city. Which one of those properties you believe costs more to the city?
Wait, which one costs more or which one is worth more? That's a
Which
different
one costs
conversation.
more to the city?
I mean, I guess city utility wise, I would say that apartment complex because it has 100 tenants in it. Like, I'm just throwing
Right,
out that number. Let's say it has 100
right,
tenants. So that's 100 people
right.
using water versus five.
Correct. All right.
100
So,
in
but in
electricity.
reality, okay, but in reality, that house with the big old area and the wife and the two kids and the dog, the city actually spend more money in that area to keep that system going than that goddamn one building with 100 people in it. That's the reality. So while these people don't have no idea how the economy actually works or how a city works, they are more than willing to fight for rich people that they are not a part of, to say that they got to hold and they get the chance to, and why should we do this? Do you not understand that they are not paying their portion of the situation when it comes to where they live versus where all the rest of us live? The that small apartment building is making the city way more money than the other people. So therefore, if you want to go ahead and live in the suburbs, and you should pay for that. The people that live in the poor areas should not be paying for you to live privately by yourself. And that is what's happening in most major cities. In most major cities, the big suburban, big plot lands is where most of the state tax and city tax is going to. Majority of it is not actually going to the major part of the city. That is creating the majority of the revenue. But nobody wants to talk about that. Not at all. Right? While the rich people roads are much better, even though it's less people on those roads per capita. And in the city, it's potholes everywhere. And that's where majority of the people live. That's where majority of the city makes their money. You'd think they'll take care of those people more. All of a sudden, I see quietness. And while the Indiana Fever might seem like they bringing in more money into the city because they are a big stadium and they supposedly got so many people working for them and all this, in reality, it costs the city more to get and keep the Indiana Fever running than Gary, Indiana rocking and rolling. Thank you, Holly. That was awesome. So, D Chicago, you are absolutely 100% incorrect. I know theoretically it looks like that's the truth, but you're absolutely wrong. You're 100% wrong. The less people and more space there is, that costs more. You got to put more pipes on the road. You got more road to pave. You got more infrastructure to maintain. But you know the link is there, so you could come up and please you could state your claim and how you have that idea. Because it's more because what we are talking about, maybe you're talking about two different things. Because for some reason you believe that one house on that neighborhood is paying enough property tax for where it's at. When the piping and it doesn't add up to what you think it is. So that one apartment building with all those people and all those people are paying their own utility bills. In most places you gotta pay for water, you gotta pay for electricity. So that building is costing the city less money because majority of the people are paying for it. Now when you go out to the suburbs, it is less people paying. So therefore, over there, it costs the city way more money per acreage. So I think me and you, Chicago, you are having a conversation that I'm not talking about. Who do you think pays the majority of that? You tell me. It is no way that you believe the suburbs is paying the majority tax in a major city. You think the suburbs pay more in taxes than the inner city? If you do believe that, you done lost your mind. That's not possible. The suburbs got 1,000 people, and the inner city got 1,000 people in one building. Because there's 1,000 of them in that building, sir. So those 1,000 people in that one building, they keep the whole neighborhood going. They shop at the local place, the local supermarket, the local coffee shop. They take the bus. They pay their utility bills. So one building could have 1,000 people in it, and that one suburb have 1,000 people in it. It's a huge difference. How many of these 1,000 people building is on one block? So I don't think, Chicago, you understand what I'm having a conversation about. You talking about an individual person who's paying more than the person in the apartment. But what I'm talking about is what the city is actually getting their revenue from and where they spending the majority of their money from. And maybe that's something that you just not recognizing that I'm talking about. So what I'm asking you, when it comes down to the city, is the city is putting more money into an apartment building, or are they putting more money into a suburb? The suburb got less people. The suburb brings in less money. The suburb uses way more infrastructure because it's more people is less people per acreage. Why do I think the cities are in debt? I believe the cities are in debt because they forgot how to build the actual city. They too concerned about the areas that do not bring in a positive network to the city. So they are focusing more on the outskirts where the rich folks are at, where it should be the other way around. They should be focusing more on where the people are at, because those are the ones that bring in the money to the actual city. Because you should allow those rich people to pay for their own goddamn roads and whatever else they got going on, because they so goddamn far. You want to live so far away from the people? You want to make sure that you are an acre away from your next neighbor? Then you pay for your goddamn roads. Right? Because if we live 1 acre apart, who is paying for that 1 acre of paved roads that only one person lives on? I would like for you to answer the questions that I'm asking you. Who pays for that acreage of paved roads that nobody lives on? It's one person here, and then you have an acre of land, and then you have another person. 2 people live on that block, but you have 2 acres of paved road. Who is paying for that 2 acres of paved road so people could drive down the street? Who? Who pays for that? That's what I want to know. So maybe that would make sense to you. You got 2, all right, let's put 2 families. You got 5 people in this house, and you have 5 people in this house. But you got 2 acres of land in between them. You have 2 acres of paved road. Don't you got to pave the road? Who's paving the road? This city. Who is paving that 2 acres of road? Now, when you go to the major part of the city, the inner city, you have 2 acres of land. Same 2 acres of land. However, you have about 10,000 people living in between that 2 acres of land. So, in reality, that 2 acres of land in the inner city is paying for itself and the suburbs. The suburbs is almost a waste. Not almost. The suburbs is a waste of the taxpayers' dollar. And poor people are paying for paved roads in the rich neighborhood. Because the rich people ain't paying for no acre of asphalt. So, Chicago, I got a question for you. So, if they pay $10,000 in property taxes, do you think that's enough for an acre of paved road? They got an acre of paved roads. They got an acre of sidewalks. They got an acre of electricity. They got an acre of pipes that's running through the bottom of the floor. Do you think that $10,000 is worth all that? Do you really believe that? Maybe you're not understanding what I'm saying. To do a driveway, a paved driveway, costs about $5,000. We talking about an acre. And then we ain't talking about the pipes for the utilities for the sewer. We ain't talking about the power lines. We ain't talking about the sidewalks. Do you actually believe that? I don't understand why people fight so much for something that they have no idea about and that they're not a part of. But maybe Chicago is a part of the rich, and he has a misunderstanding to what his taxes is actually going towards. He actually believed the suburbs pay more in property tax than the inner city pay in taxes, period. Which is kind of wild. It's kind of wild. That's crazy. I did account that. And it's okay that you just don't understand how taxes actually work inside of the city. If you think the suburbs is taking care of the inner city, you are sadly mistaken. It is the other way around. The inner city taxes is what actually maintains the suburbs. That's what actually happens. You could go look it up. You could go ahead and what they told you, do your own research. Yeah, you could go ahead and look it up. I'm telling you what it is, but you don't want to believe. Y'all crazy if y'all believe that those apartment buildings are not paying property tax. Y'all sadly mistaken. If you think that the suburbs is giving the inner city the majority of the money, you are sadly mistaken. Y'all are sad. You are sadly mistaken if you believe the suburbs is what produces the majority of taxes in your local city. That's crazy. There's no way that's possible. It's not possible. But I get it. A lot of people in the conservative realm, they don't really understand how the taxes actually move and what's generating money for their own city. They don't realize that the inner city that they are talking horrible about generates majority of the income for a major city. And without that the inner city for the suburbs could not exist at all. And so the suburbs is taken away from the inner city. It's actually flipped. Well, look it up. Look it up. Look it up yourself. Where do Chicago make, which one by acreage? Just put by acreage. Which one is more, which neighborhood has more of a negative impact on Chicago? Inglewood or Ballin Rock? Just go ahead and Google that. Which neighborhood has more of a negative impact on Chicago's taxes? Inglewood or Ballin Rock? And you'll see for yourself. But, you know, what proof you got of that? Okay, I'll look it up. Let's see. But it just goes to show a lot of people don't even understand how these stuff works. What is this? Hey, be sleazy. Be sleazy. It's crazy. Like when they really like the things they're saying. They saying that 12,000 people can pay the same amount as 2 million people. They crazy, man. Like I don't know. I don't know where they get this information from. I don't know how they got the information, where they acquired it from, and why do they want to fight for what is the obvious? If they just do a little research, just a little bit, you'll find out that it is complete opposite of what you think. The areas that you think that is sucking the city dry is actually keeping the city afloat. That's the wildest part about it. If you go by the acreage of how much money does it cost by acre to keep this property afloat versus this property afloat, you would clearly see, hey, the suburbs is sucking the inner city dry. But then again, nobody want to come up and bring up any facts. They just want to say I'm wrong without saying anything. Like, they really believe that 10,000 people can equate to 2 million people. That's crazy. It's not possible. It's crazy. But I want to know why do so many people have such a disdain for the people that they are a part of? Like, majority of us are not a part of the rich class. Majority of us do not get supported by the rich class. Majority of us get taken advantage of by the rich class. Why fight for something that you're not a part of? Badass sayings. I wish that was the truth for majority of those type of areas, right? But in reality, it's not like that, right? Because a lot of people believe like the Chicago, and then they have cities where, you know, the city folks is paying for the suburbs. Shout out to Badass Thing. He live in a certain type of county where, you know, the folks that could afford to be away from the people, they're gonna have to pay for their own paved roads. The city is not taking that expense. They're like, nah, it costs to me, because Badass Same lives in a county where they understands that, hey, it costs a lot of money to pave 7 acres of road for one person. So Badass Same understands exactly what I'm talking about. Badass Same, the county that he in his city, his county said, hell no, we're not gonna put up 7 acres of pavement for one family. Well, we could go right down the road and we got 10,000 people in this area. We'd rather fix those roads. But you know what I'm saying? Badass saying most people don't really understand how a city's economy actually works. Right, so he wanted to, you know, and so they want to try to focus on one part of the tax system, which is an individual property taxpayer, instead of the whole city as a whole. So I think that's where the misunderstanding is that people not really understanding how taxes work inside a city. Where is the money going? Where's the money coming from? I don't think most people understand that part of city economics. You know what I'm saying? That's the thing people don't really understand. 7 acres of pipe work is expensive. Imagine that. How much pipe work do you think it cost? You know, how much pipe work you think is going into 7 acres? Versus it got this one block with 1,000 people and it just got, you know, maybe 500 feet of pipe that's servicing 100 people. 1,000 feet of pipe servicing 1,000 people. Well, you got 1,000 feet of pipe that's servicing one family. Which one did you make more money off of? Those 1,000 people got to pay for their water. Those 1,000 people got to pay for electricity. Those 1,000 people got to pay for all those things. So, yeah, I hear y'all. Y'all saying that, no, the people that live in the house don't pay property tax, but they paying taxes on everything else. So that's the issue that I think people are missing. Y'all putting it on an individual, so you think an individual paying can compete with a city of individuals is wild. You know what I'm saying? Badass saying, like, you just can't compare those things. Like, no matter what, badass thing cannot compete with a building of taxpayers. No matter how much he paid in property tax, he can't compete with a whole building of taxpayers. Right. So that's what you missing in Chicago. Chicago, you're not understanding that those suburbs cost the city more money than the inner city. And so those suburbs is actually taking away a lot. They are draining the city, actually, because it costs more gas to drive around with those trucks. It costs more to get police system. It takes more because you got to drive further away. I just don't understand what I'm communicating about how the inner city versus the suburbs and how those things interact with taxes in your city. No, what I think is that people don't understand the reality of living in the suburbs versus the inner city. I think people looking at individuals being taxed versus what's actually bringing money into the city. What brings more money into a city? A single suburb house or a goddamn apartment building? What's bringing more money into a city? Your suburban house or this house that hosts 100 people? Which one is bringing more money to the city? Which one costs less money to operate? Which one costs less money for the city to operate? A suburban house on 1 acre of land or a apartment building on 1 acre of land? Which one costs the city more? And if anybody believes that that apartment building costs the city more money than on 1 acre of land than a one family household on 1 acre of land, then you are completely delusional how these cities work. You are completely delusional if you believe that one house on 1 acre of land is bringing in more money than a goddamn apartment building on 1 acre of land. You don't know how city economics work at all if that's what you believe. It's crazy. It doesn't matter why. I don't care why the reason is. That's what the conversation is. It's not possible for that one house on 1 acre of land to be a net positive for the city. It's not possible. You just don't understand how city economics works. And I think you feel like you're making a good argument, which is crazy. That's the crazy part about it. Mm-mm-mm. No, you don't know how the math works, actually. Because you are turning the stipulation to everybody in the building is on government assistance, and the majority of buildings, apartment buildings, people are not on government assistance. So that's why you are thinking about I don't know. But majority apartments that are in cities are not government assistance. It's actually the other way around. They're attempting to make more assistance for apartments. So you are not doing the math correctly. You're trying to make it to where it is everybody in that building is not paying no rent. They are not paying no. They're not paying no utilities. They ain't paying no water. They ain't paying for food. They not doing anything. You trying to make a whole building like that, when in reality the inner city buildings are not majority like that. If you believe that majority of apartment buildings are government assistance, then you have no clue about what's going on in any major city. All these goddamn luxury buildings up. Are you crazy? Y'all, you crazy. You don't make no damn sense. But I get it. It fits your narrative. And so that's what you gotta turn the conversation into, that the whole building is on government assistance. Well, I'm pretty sure we was just to Google if majority of the apartment buildings, whatever city you want to say, are majority of the apartment buildings government assisted. I'm pretty sure. I don't know. I didn't look it up. But I'm pretty sure majority of people living in any major city is not on government assistance. B Sneezy, he don't understand that too. They don't really understand. So let me see. Hey, some people just argue to argue to want to make black people look bad. And that's another problem with the conservative situation. They just want to argue to make black folks look horrible and like they are just taken from major cities. And it's actually the other way around. All right, so we need. Thank you, I appreciate that. Thank you, Baby Slime, I appreciate that. While we need more support, we only had 8 super chats for the day. Only got 30-some likes. We got 0 shares. We got no memberships. What we're gonna do is put y'all on a commercial break, and we come right back while y'all get that together. That's insane.
Wireless wake up show. We get it cracking, no acting. Say what you say, but bring facts with it. I'm Sharon Bracey, come face me. All love. But we saw the case be. Boom! Boom. Hey, this the Wireless wake up show. Lights on, case closed. With sips on deck, no capping. Just proof exposed facts. Challenge me, let's see what's happening. We don't pretend. Nah, Sharon Bracey, come face me. Truth gon' win. Night turns to evidence. Mics, receipts in the file. We talk that street gospel. Broadcast live. Wireless wake up show, the truth unfold. Ain't no games, we chasing facts, we taking hold. Lights low in the studio, the tension thick. Chat scrolling, comments heavy, they expecting this. Look, I drop a jewel, it explodes, scatter in the crowd. You talk tough in the ends, but vanish when it's loud. I've been smelling smoke, fakeries and fraud. Boss frontin' in the streets, but the paperwork flawed. Receipts stacked tall, timelines crossing the line. This is ghetto court with a beat and a rhyme. Bring your courage, bring your proof, or get exposed tonight. I ain't afraid of the truth, I live for the fight. I'm Sharon, I call your name, come stand right here. It's all love, but the case gotta end this year. It's the Wild Wake Up Show. Lights on, case closed. Receipts on deck, no capping, just proof exposed. Challenge me, let's see what's happening. We don't pretend. I'm Sharon Bracey, come famous. Truth gon' win. Witnesses calling, testimony heavy. City on my back, foundation steady. This ain't petty beef, this a purge of the lies. We strip masks off, truth televised. Every edited race, no escape from the lens. Your moves documented, beginning and end. I'm the host with the hustle, the streets on my chest. No capping, the truth manifests. A lot of them scared when the light hit true. Scared, hide in the shadow, ducking the proof. But it's the arena, respectfully loud, where the righteous get heard and the fakes disavowed. Stream overflow, donation, captive vibes. We dissect illusions, stitch timelines tight. March through the smoke, no fear at night. If you came for smoke, you best wear a mask. We spray facts heavy, can you handle the blast. This the wake up show. This the code we know. Facts over fiction, that's the life we show. Sharon breaks it, last call, last chance. All love in a circle, but the truth gon' dance. Case closed, curtains drawn, verdict tall. Wildest wake up show, we stand over all. This the wildest wake up show, we stand over all. This the wildest wake up show. Lights on, case closed. Receipts on deck, no capping, just proof exposed. Challenge me, let's see what's happening. We don't pretend. Sharon breaks it, come face me. Truth gon' win. Night turns to evidence. Mics, receipts in the file. We talk that street gospel, broadcast live. Wildest wake up show, the truth unfold. Ain't no games, we chasing facts, we taking hold. Yeah. Wildest wake up. Lights on. Truth only. I'm Sharon Brace. Case all.
Yes, good morning. There is a lot of excitement here and a lot of moving parts. So Keith Lee will be here around 11 o'clock. He's bringing those supplies, but he's also bringing food trucks and a DJ. You can see them starting to get set up for that part of the event. Millions of people follow Lee on social media. A woman we spoke with showed up at 3 a.m. because she's so excited to meet him. But of course, that's not the only reason she's here.
Not just because I'm a fan, it's because I actually need it. I currently do not have any light steel, and I am the caretaker of my 72-year-old mother, and I've got a few pets at home, and things have gotten really slim.
Last night, CBS News cameras captured some of the 700 linemen and 300 vegetation crews currently dedicated to Gary outages. They've restored power to at least 20,000 residents here over the past few days, but still, as we mentioned, several thousand people are waking up in the dark of their 13th morning without electricity. Mayor Eddie Melton says NIPSCO is making progress, but says the power company's pace is, quote, unacceptable. Governor Mike Braun also didn't mince words, saying NIPSCO, quote, failed Hoosiers. Well, some of the people lined up this morning do have their power back. They tell us more than a week and a half without electricity took its toll. One dad is hoping today's giveaway will take away some stress.
We got 2 daughters, so I'm still trying to get everything I can as far as food, resources, stuff like that. So I'm just trying to make sure that I can get as much as I can for my kids.
Unfortunately for that father and others who were in line before dawn over on that corner this morning, the giveaway game plan did change up a bit. Like I said, there's lots of moving parts. Organizers are now asking that people line up in Roosevelt Park, which is across the street, that they enter on 21st Street. They'll get a wristband and a box of supplies put in their car over there. Then they're invited to park in Roosevelt Park and can walk over here to where the DJ and the food trucks and influencer Keith Lee will be. That's the latest from here in Gary. I'm Laura Victor reporting live, CBS News Chicago.
All right, Lauren, thank you so much for those updates there in Northwest Indiana.
Shout out to Keith Lee trying to do his part. Just a regular influencer. All right, just a regular social media influencer. Shout out to him for attempting to do his part. I'm trying to do my part as whatever this thing's called, because, you know, most people won't even say that I'm a content creator. They won't say I'm anything, goddammit. The only thing they want to do is argue with me. You know what I'm saying? We got people like Chicago, D Chicago, what are you considered in your community? Do you live in the suburbs or do you live in the city? I'd like to know. So crazy. Shout out to Mua. Says for support here, use some use some Arab money. Oh, we spending Arab money. Oh. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate it. I never knew inner city means lower income. Imagine if inner city means lower income in Manhattan. That's crazy. That's insane to me. Welcome to the show. The Man Williams. Do inner city means lower income?
Not no more. It used to.
Not no more. Like, but before we seen the gentrification of Atlanta, it definitely knew that anybody inside this. Oh, right. Like that's why they had to put the buses. That's why you got all them buses and train for the poor people. But when we seen the gentrification, especially once you seen the gentrification gentrification on the west side of Atlanta, it was totally different. Listen, let me tell you how you know that it's not pole no more. When you start seeing bike lanes in the inner city, and you start seeing them running
Right.
lanes, that's not for poor
Right.
people. So what they did is they kind of moved all of the poor people out to the suburbs, right? So I think, believe it or not, the suburbs, like when you start looking at like what these gangster rappers are they're from the suburbs now, but that they just pushed everybody out of the city. So it's actually in Georgia. I only can speak for Georgia. It's more rare to see. It's actually more rare to see the ghetto inside the inner cities. They actually kind of pushed them out where so they can see. You know, what I'm saying kind of almost that idea of out of sight, out of mind type thing.
Shit. Hey, so today, Edith, man, I'm not how sure how much you was watching, but I'm getting a little bit of pushback because I'm trying to cover the Gary, Indiana situation. I think it's very ridiculous that the Indiana Fever was able to have a basketball game and kick Enes Kanter out of this basketball game because he had a shirt talking about, men and women or whatever. But Gary, Indiana, just 10, 20 miles away, they have no electricity for damn near 2 weeks. I think that's atrocious. And the part that's atrocious about it to me is that there's not enough coverage about it. Usually something like this, and when you have a major sports team in your area, the sports team is attempting to get some kind of coverage, to get help, get some kind of relief, get supplies. They set up places where you could send in water, canned food, anything that we can as Americans to help our local cities out. And I find that very disheartening that they ain't do their part yet.
Well, I think the first thing is you gotta understand what people don't know about Gary. Gary is a black city. It's a lot of black people in Gary, right? And this idea that races is not treated different. We saw what happened in New Orleans, right? One side of New Orleans, they was taken care of, the white side during Katrina. Then we seen the other side of New Orleans, they treated a little bit different. You know what I'm saying? They don't know about them wards. They treated a little different. So you just gotta understand this. It's only makes sense when it's white folks. It's sad to say it, you know what I'm saying? But if it was a whole bunch of white people who didn't have all these things, we would have seen a bigger outreach. We would have seen a bigger all of these things. So I get it. Yeah. One thing we just gotta learn as black people in this country is we not gonna be treated the same. And I think that's so hard. I think it's so hard for black people because they've been fighting. We've been hearing Martin Luther King say, we just want to be equal. We've been, how many years, 60, 70 years asking for equalness. And they just put this illusion that equalness is here to shut people up. So I'm not surprised at this going on. It's a whole bunch of cities that going on. Let's talk about what happened in Augusta, Georgia, when the hurricane went through. How tell me how North Augusta with white people lights came back on and the west side of Augusta stayed off for an additional 2 weeks. How does that power company work? Y'all got the same power. So that's the point that I'm saying is that I think race got a lot to do with it. I think income got a lot to do with it. But when it really comes down to when we boil it all down when we boil it all down to the bones, it really just come down to this idea is they don't care. And then
Damn.
as long as we keep letting them treat us the way that they let us treat us, give us a couple dollars, give us a couple jobs, really not really give us any true power. But I don't blame them. With all that saying, I don't blame them because I think if black people was in charge, we'll do the same thing. I know you disagree with that part, but I think we would treat people take care of their own race.
I think with our race, what we have understood is that there's a lot of people that have the same skin tone don't actually care about the skin tone. They
That's
rather
true.
care about the other side's skin tone. So we learned the hard way that a lot of folks were taught down on folks that look like themselves, and they get a big bag for doing that as well too, right? They get places of power for doing that for the most part.
And then with these black folks, I heard your favorite officer, your favorite YouTube officer. You know, it came out that Austin Metcalf had got expelled from school 2 years ago for putting the KKK graffiti. You heard that, right? And he said, I'm not saying that this wasn't a trouble. Listen, it's funny that he's in trouble. The racist kid is the trouble youth, right? Let me turn my camera off. Listen, the racist kid is a trouble. I'm so sorry that he's a trouble youth. Yes, he's bad, but he did not deserve to lose his life. This is this man over there. Come on, man. Like we are we serious at this point? Like now,
I don't
and
know
and,
either, man.
and then I'm asking the question. You telling me, as a lawyer, it's nobody found this guy had history of racism. Like I think the lawyer was paying attention. But that's neither here nor there. We ain't talking about that today. I am just the point that I'm making is that we just gotta understand that it's two different realities.
Shit.
Our reality in America and other people's reality in America is just different, bro. And once we accept that, see, I think the biggest problem is
The
hard to
issue that I
accept. I can
have
see it
is
in your eyes.
hey, the
It's
issue
hard
that
for you
I
to
got with
accept
it,
it, big
either,
dog.
man. You know, the thing that is hard for me to accept, either, man, is folks that look like us act as if they don't understand that is happening. That's the part that is hard for me to understand. Like you know what I'm saying? Like we have to accept it. We got to roll with the punches in our. Okay, that's understand. We got to keep on fighting. I get that part, right? We got to keep on fighting for what we can and get the proper people in place and stop being afraid to get into these goddamn political situations and actually fight the good fight, right? The more of us that we could get in the right position, maybe we could get things. You get the needle to move a little bit. But the people that try to fight to keep the system the same. That's the part that blows my mind. I do not understand. Like I'm having a conversation with somebody in the chat and he's telling me, right, that a single suburban house on 1 acre of land versus a apartment building on that same acre of land, that there's one in the suburbs is contributing more to that city than us 100 people in an apartment building. I just like, man, we are lost. We do not.
Yeah,
We
we
don't
lost.
understand how economy works. We don't know how city economy works. These people don't know where their taxes are going. You know what I'm saying? They don't know.
We see
They
this.
don't know which part of the city is draining the city tax versus the one that is actually sponsoring the whole city. And it's just like it's very saddening to see how much we don't know as a group.
Well, no, we see this that person don't know what they're talking about. I don't know who it is, but they don't know what they're talking about because we don't see companies or restaurants going out of business inside the inner city. It's usually happening in the suburbs.
Right.
If you ever see a company go out of business, it's not that company under the 100 apartment building. They stay in business for a long time. The bodegas, not like all those people, the restaurant, even the Chinese restaurants that we don't like. We keep them in business because it's part of the economical system, right? Versus the suburbs.
Right.
The suburbs will drive all the way to the inner city to support the inner city, then to support the restaurant right in their neighborhood, right? So I think it's just a flawed way of thinking. I think we need a balance of both, though. I want to be clear about that. I do think we need a balance of both. We need people in the suburbs because the great thing about having the suburbs is I do think that your kids get exposed to a different level of life. I ain't gonna say better, but a different level of life being in the just based off what I.
Yeah, and I agree. They do get a different level of understanding what's going on. That's 100% a fact. It's something that changes. The air smells different. The air is less aggressive. Goddamn. You know, like it's definitely more bike lanes, and you see a lot of people running in the morning. You see a lot more people jogging and all these things. Yes, but for a majority of counties, those inner cities are paying for those beautiful paved roads. So this idea that this person is keep on trying to blame government assistance and saying that is what's bleeding the city is just not true. And I think that some people just don't understand that places like Walmart is a net negative for your community, actually. Places like Walmart and Target actually takes away from your community. It takes so much from your inner city than it actually gives. It's crazy. Good day to you, Lady D. Yeah, be sneezy. It's kind of crazy, man. It is really wild and it's insane. It's insane when you actually think about it, right? It's like, because what they don't understand is that places like Walmart and Target, they actually devalue the neighborhood. How they devalue the neighborhood? Because they spend the least amount of money in infrastructure, but they gain the most out of your city. They take away from your city. They do not remodel the city. They don't put no great advancements. They don't do no kind of archaeology, any kind of architecture at all within your city, because all those things is actually what makes this a community beautiful, right? The beautiful buildings, well-maintained streets, you putting money into the architecture, maintaining everything. Walmart and places like that, they do the exact opposite. They put the least amount necessary to get that building up. The least amount. But they take up most of the real estate, making your city uglier, which in turn make people who don't want to live there, which in turn give you less, is ridiculous. However, but the people that is attempting to build up their community, attempting to start a new business, they get charged more money per capita than the Walmart building. But most people don't understand that. They understand it per capita when it comes to crime, when it comes to us. But for some reason, Chicago cannot understand per capita when we having this conversation. Be sneezy. They don't want to talk about how these corporations are on government assistance, because they don't really understand. I guess clearly they don't really understand. It's crazy. They don't really understand. They don't really get it though, because they just want to beat up on they just want to beat up on black folks so badly, and it's weird. It's a weird thing to see. And, that's why you see Master P. He's jumping into this conservative nonsense as of lately as well. Very strange. But like I said, Chicago, you can hit the link. You can hit the link. You can hit the camera. In Chicago, again, he's making arguments that don't make sense. So they take away from your community by taking up a lot of acreage, paying the least amount of taxes for taking up that acreage. Also, they devalue the look of your neighborhood. When you see a Walmart come up in the neighborhood, it's usually not a good thing. So they take up a lot of land. They don't make the neighborhood look any better. They don't bring in a bunch of local businesses. There's only one business there out of all that acreage. Instead of bringing in a multiple businesses, right? So that the amount of acreage that they're using, if they build a neighborhood, a nice walkable neighborhood where you could walk around, shop locally, get your local pizza, get your local iron guy, get your local lights, get your local furniture, so on and so on and so on. By that acreage, if you had the local things there and you have incentivized people to build up the architecture in that neighborhood, it would build a better community than one Walmart. And you would have way more in taxes and building, and people just really don't understand how. Yeah, not Master P, yeah. Not his name too, but when you think about his name, like, hey, the man that's saying that, forget about slavery, his name is Master. Hey, very interesting. You know what I'm saying, Miss J? Very interesting. Master P is telling us to forget about slavery. That's wild in itself. Crazy. What? That's crazy. But we got to get out of this idea that we could just talk bad about black folks all day, every day. And I do understand that I'm fighting a very uphill battle. And so Chicago, again, you're not understanding how major cities operate for their community. So majority of Walmarts do not provide jobs the way how you think it is. They actually provide less jobs because they provide more part-time jobs. So with that same acreage of land that they're using, so when you talk about the acreage land, we're not just talking about the building, we're also talking about the parking lot. So they probably employ about 200 people altogether in that Walmart. But if you was to build up and you incentivize the people to build on that land and build up the architecture and build a bunch of small businesses, you'll have about 200 businesses on that same amount of land. And each one of those have at least 1 to 2 different employees. Each one of those might even have buildings on there that have 100 different people in it. So you are bringing in a tremendous amount more than what Walmart could ever give you. In reality, if you look at the economy of how a city actually works. But most people do not look on how the city actually works. They just look at what's on the surface. So yeah, on surface, it sounds great. Walmart brings in a bunch of jobs. But in reality, we are seeing since Walmart and Target has been taking over America, more businesses has closed. More people are unemployed. So in reality, you don't know what you are actually talking about. They take away from most small cities. They do not add. And it's proven. Like a lot of economists have proven that Walmarts do not do what people think that they do. They're not bringing in jobs. I don't just think that. Economists know that, Chicago. What makes a really dope city pretty fly is the fact that that city is walkable and that you could just walk around in your city and find different places to shop, eat, and find different kind of utilities and skills and all that. Those are the cities that are doing very well. And that's how we used to build cities in America. We used to build it for it to be walkable. So this way you can enjoy your neighborhood. And this way you don't have to leave your neighborhood to go find another neighborhood that is walkable. It's insane. When you look at majority of the top neighborhoods in our country, majority of those cities are very walkable. It stays within their community. They have their local everything. Their local pizzeria, their local this, that, and the third. Their local place where they shop for their clothes. Everything is in the walkable city. That's why they have bike lanes in jogging lanes because they run down to a local coffee shop, then they run down to a local sneaker store, they walk down to the nearest barbershop, they walk down to the nearest this, that, and the third. So walkable cities are the most profitable cities in America. That's how you build a city. You cannot build a city off of a ran down Walmart. Man. And you know what? But you know, at the same time, we gotta have more conversations. I guess that's partly my fault. We gotta have more conversation about how a city actually creates money and where the money is actually going in these cities and things of that nature. So a lot of people believe that those big corporations are helping, but they're not. They do not help. They actually take away. They take away land from the city. They take away architecture from the city. Most places, it is a net negative. You could just go ahead and look it up. But you're not trying to really hear me. You're just asking questions that is irrelevant to what I'm saying. You're not acknowledging anything I'm saying. But you are more than welcome. Let me see. Because maybe the link doesn't work for you. You are more than welcome to hit the link and have your discussion. And you can explain to me what you are saying instead of asking a bunch of questions that you don't know nothing about. Explain to me what you're trying to communicate. You tell me why, instead of having each section that Walmart has, how is that benefiting your city? Wouldn't it be better if you had a local bike, a local electronics store, a local workwear store, a local suit store, a local supermarket, a local gardening store, a local like if you had those 7 businesses in your area, it'd be much better off than having a one-stop shop. It's been proven. It's a reason why malls in America are dying. So you employ 200 people, but you get 200 businesses dismantled. You get thousands of people unemployed. But yes, you did employ 200 people. Yes, you did. Who's that better for? That is better for the city, and that is better for your neighborhood. That's who is better for Chicago. Because mom and pop stores, they take pride in their stores, so they build up their neighborhood because they live in that neighborhood. They live right in the neighborhood that they have their products in. They live right down the block. Why you hit the link, sir? I don't know why you keep asking me questions and I'm already answering. Every time I answer a question, you ask me a different question. You have not proven anything that you are saying out of your mouth or out of your text messages to say that why this Walmart is better for a neighborhood. Please explain to me why you believe one business taking over 7 businesses is better for a community. How is that possible? You got rid of 7 businesses to put 1. How is that better for a community? Please make that make sense. You got rid of multiple businesses to put 1. How does that make sense? It don't mean like that's crazy. And history has shown that it has not been working in a positive and productive way. It's the whole reason why black folks is boycotting Target now. And now that we started boycotting Target, now they're crying for help. They try to get Jay-Z. It ain't working. Do what you said you're going to do. But the problem is that I don't mind that he don't understand. The problem is that he's not understanding how a community works. If you like convenience and you don't mind convenience destroying your neighborhood, then I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. Then you are okay with your neighborhood being destroyed without any kind of pushback. Where is the Walmart in Gary, Indiana that is helping out those people? I'm pretty sure those Walmarts, they ain't lose no power because they got generators. I'm pretty sure the Walmart in Gary, Indiana didn't lose no power. Man, I tell you. Crazy. Chicago, how old are you again? I would like to understand. Maybe you're just too young to understand what city economics is. You could just see economics from the surface level, but you don't really understand what's actually happening in your city. You don't know how much money it costs to budget your city for snow plowing, police officers. You know what I mean? Chicago, how old are you? If you don't mind me asking. Since you don't want to actually hit the link and have a conversation. And you can't keep a clear, coherent thought. And I guess when you leave and you see different neighborhoods and you see how they attack the problems with possible, when you see how people in different places they attack the utility problem by keeping trees cut below. They keep trees cut below the power line, so therefore the trees doesn't affect it. So you 40, you still don't understand? So you 40 and still don't understand how city economics work? Damn, that's crazy. That's crazy. And you argue with me even though you haven't proven your point not once. You don't give you nothing but facts on how things work. They pay more than Walmart. I'll tell you that much. For 100% fact, mom and pop stores pay way more than Walmart. Walmart paid minimum wage. So I don't know why you asking that question. I've been answering all your questions. You haven't said not one statement that makes sense. It's so crazy to see conversations when I'm giving you a fact, you just asking questions, and I've been answering all your questions, right? Like I just answered your question about how much does a mom and pop typically pays. It pays more than Walmart, right? Because Walmart pays minimum wage. Simple. No, they don't. Yes, a small business pay more than Walmart. How? Because they have to. It's the only way they're going to keep people to come to work. So they have to pay more. The local furniture store is going to pay more than Walmart. It's just what it is. If you don't understand how, then I don't know how I can help you with that. You could just look it up yourself. You could just look it up yourself and see how much Walmart pays. More people at Walmart, they don't even have full-time employees. Most people that work at Walmart is on government assistance. That's what you're not really understanding for some strange reason. Most people that work at Walmart is on government assistance. Crazy. You keep saying ask ChatGPT. How about you ask ChatGPT, how does city economics work? Because clearly you need a class on city economics because you don't understand it. Most people that work at Walmart don't work long enough at a Walmart to benefit off a 401k. What the hell? And yes, a lot of mom and pops have 401ks. Yes, mom and pop stores have 401ks. It's not very difficult to set up a 401k. My company, I'm a mom and pop company, and I offer 401k to my workers. Man, but maybe, so yes, so mom and pops do absolutely offer 401ks. Yes. And the reason why you offer a 401k to as a company, because it's a great tax write-off. And your local Walmart, also, they make sure that they keep employees under the, how am I making something up? Walmart, they make sure that they keep people at the part-time level so they don't have to pay health insurance. Another thing that they do. I don't know what stuff I'm making up. Yes, you as a small business owner, you can easily set up a 401k for anybody that works for you. It is not difficult at all. And it don't cost you a whole bunch of money. Because you get to choose how much percentage you are going to back up. 2%, 3%. You probably don't even know how 401ks work. Then you are asking your ChatGPT the wrong questions. Because I'm telling you, I lived it myself. I'm a mom and pop. They absolutely have 401ks. I guess you want me to send it to you so you can see yourself that I offer 401ks? Would you believe it then? Because all mom and pop means is small businesses. Guess who, you stupid. Guess who's stupid. Oh shit. But I think maybe what you typing in, whatever small mom and pop means to your chat GPT doesn't mean the same in reality. Mom and pop store just means small business. So pizzeria is a mom and pop. The local HVAC company is a mom and pop. The local hardware store is a mom and pop. So all those small businesses are mom and pop shops. The liquor store is a mom and pop store. So maybe you are not under, maybe you should put small business instead of mom and pop, because maybe you have tainted your chat GPT with what a mom and pop is. Because we understand that chat GPTs, they tend to adopt your frame of thinking. And again, Chicago, you asking a bunch of questions, but you have said nothing, even though I'm answering your questions. All right, well, okay. You can think that is insane. Be sleazy. SD, 100%. Walmart takes businesses away, right? They take away from the local area. They don't add to the local area. They actually destroy local businesses. That's what Walmarts and Targets usually do. They destroy. They don't actually help. But for some reason, Chicago just doesn't understand that. He reads, I guess, the press release that Walmart. I mean, you read the press release. Hey, it's very convincing. You know what I'm saying? It's very like the press release would tell you one thing, but in reality, Walmart's, they actually destroyed local neighborhoods. That's why a lot of people are against them coming to their city. So, all a lot of people need is one person to retire from Walmart. And they say, see, Walmart's retiring people. Well, we know for most people, Walmart is not a in place, it's just a place to work for the meantime. You get through college and you keep moving. Or you are a retiree yourself and you live out the last 5 to 10 years working because you're just tired of being at home. And that's sad that you're a realtor and you don't know these things. It's sad that you're a realtor and you don't understand how the city actually works and how it makes its money. It's sad that you're a realtor and you don't understand how the economy of a city actually works. But, it is what it is. You know what I mean? Like, I know there's a lot of people that don't understand those type of things. Economy of a city is very difficult, That's why picking out your governor, your city mayor, your county's mayor, and the comptroller, if you're from New York, that shit is important. The person that's balancing out that goddamn budget for your city is highly important because they could destroy your budget and that could destroy your city. Some cities never recover after they get the wrong person in there and destroy that city's budget. No, you're saying you understand, but the things that you are questioning and the way how you're questioning it shows that you do not understand how it actually works. What up, Shicey Bum? These men not understanding how economics work and how they got this whole community in Gary, Indiana, in the dark, and Walmart hasn't done nothing. Shout out to Max Leisure. That's a great explanation. When you spend money at Walmart, they take your money and spend it internationally, weakening the dollar and crippling the local businesses. But for some reason, you know, Chicago is not really understanding that at all, which is it's very strange. So again, that is a misconception as well. Most suburbs, most people pay for private school. So you look at the public schools there, do they do a little bit better? Yes. But suburbs, public school is public school. Thank you, Shicey Bum. Even Shicey Bum, that y'all be trying to be on her neck, Shicey Bum understands that the inner cities pays more than the suburbs. Y'all just, you know, like some people just don't understand. This is a real estate agent that don't understand how these things work. It's crazy. That's crazy. And again, you're comparing 12,000 to 2 million. You know what I mean? That's crazy. I already explained to you that. But you are not you're not listening to the words, right? You're just trying to argue. And so you look at it as an individual, one person versus one person. When what I'm talking about is the actual community. I'm talking about your 12,000 suburbians versus the 2 million that's in the city. Those 12,000 that's in the suburbs cannot keep up with the 2 million that's in the city. So that's what I'm trying to get you to understand. You keep trying to make it a one-to-one, but I'm not having a conversation of a one-to-one. I'm having a conversation about how cities' economics actually work. I try to make it smaller so you can understand that one house on 1 acre of land versus one apartment building on 1 acre of land, that one apartment building on 1 acre of land is bringing more contributions to your city than that one house in the suburbs. But you just not really recognizing that. For some reason, you think that one person paying $5,000 or $10,000 to just go with an expensive place, 12,000 people paying $10,000 versus 2 million people paying $14,000 in taxes equals out more. It's crazy. Because you got to understand, I don't know. And you keep saying the same thing when you are not understanding. The apartment building do not take more resources than one house. I keep trying to explain to you how an apartment building gives more resources. A single house on 1 acre of land takes more resources than an apartment building from the city. How do you not understand that? Because the city itself only builds up a certain amount of the infrastructure. Everything that's inside of the building, the owner of the building pays for that. So the city takes up its portion. It builds up to the apartment building, and it leaves, and it gives you one connection to the building. Everything else that's outside of that, from the distance from the curve to the street, is the building's responsibility, and they got to build that up. Because Wanda, this man is ridiculous. He keeps saying that majority of people that live in apartment buildings are on government assistance, but it's just not true. I don't know why he keeps saying that. Apartment buildings is not majority government assisted. But he's not addressing anything that is being said, So he's just not willing to, he's not, even though he's a realtor at that, he's just not able to address what is actually happening. So. Shiesty, get him. Get him. But I'm not talking about a low income neighborhood. You're gonna keep trying to make it something that is not. I said apartment building. So I don't know why you're saying a low income neighborhood. No, it's not. The argument is a apartment building. Like again, I'm gonna frame it again for you so you can understand. One apartment building on 1 acre of land versus one house, a single family house on 1 acre of land. Which one is taking more resources from your city is the question. And for some reason, you don't understand that the house that is on 1 acre, the single family house on 1 acre land that is serving 5 people is more infrastructure going to that one house than it is going to that one apartment building that holds 100 people. That's what the conversation is about. I'm trying to clear it up so you can understand. So if you want to say that I'm changing it, I'm trying to get you to understand what the conversation is about so you can understand. Speaking of Illinois, somebody from Illinois is calling me right now. I'm going to have to call you back. So, you know what? I'll answer it while y'all hit the super. Yeah, sorry about that. Them people don't call me about like 5 different times. So I was like, all right, let me finally answer them. They've been stressing me. It's crazy that the person that's not understanding is saying that everybody else doesn't understand, even though we're explaining it. So it's just so crazy. I don't know what people that's receiving government assistance is the people that live. I think you got to make under $20,000. So anybody that's making under $20,000, you get assistance. That's what you're not understanding. All right. So Wanda says there's a difference. Everyone in low income doesn't receive government assistance. They just meet income guidelines. Simple and plain. And for a relative to not understand that is crazy. That is just insane. That's just insane to me. Like most of these buildings do not say government program. They say luxury apartments. All these buildings that's going up every single day, they say luxury apartments. They do not say government assistance accepted. No, they got, at least in New York City, they got a few apartments that you could get. And those apartments that you get that is government assistance in those buildings, they have a completely different different interests and everything, different mailroom, different experience in that same luxury building. So I don't know where's that where you from, Mr. Realtor, but goddamn, that is not how it is throughout the nation. Crazy. Insane for a realtor to say these things. My bad, Wanda. Hey, ain't nobody down that you making money. You could be making money all you want. Hey, shout out to you. How about Chicago? Show how much money you making by sending a super chat. Right, so under 20,000. You know what I mean? So 17. So Pumps and Bumps says 17.5 you need to make for government assistance. So like, hey, it's pretty low to get government assistance. It's kind of hard to get government assistance nowadays. So D Chicago, since you're making all that money, I would never tell someone you're getting more resources living in the inner city than you will live. Well, I don't know what you consider. I don't know. What I'm talking about, and again, I'm talking about what the city is getting from. You talking about individual. Again, you went from, I'm talking about the city, you talking about an individual. And this is where we keep bumping heads, where you're not comprehending the difference between how your city is getting taken advantage of versus an individual. An individual do not move the needle for your city. I'm sorry to tell you. So majority of those people that live in the suburbs, they are taken away from the city. Majority of the people that lives in the city, which is considered the inner city, those people are the ones that is paying for the suburbs. Do you not understand how much paved road you need for a suburb versus an inner city? So the inner city is housing the millions of people while the suburbs is housing thousands of people. So do you understand how the suburbs is taking more resources because you got to pave more roads for less people? So therefore the inner city is paving less roads to service more people. I don't know how you not understand that. You know what I'm saying, Wanda? Like, and it's so crazy that he don't understand that, man. Damn, that's wild. That is wild. And I can't say it no more plain than that, Wanda. Like, sheesh. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. Right, New York City wildin'. I don't know what cities you talk about in Chicago, sir. So I don't know. If you feel like Bowling Green is giving, how much Bowling Green is bringing to the city? He the only one that doesn't understand. Yeah. You know, it's always the slow one that interrupts the class, right? That is a true statement. The one that is the one that is not up to par with the class is the one that's always disrupting and messing up for the people that understands. All right, so if that's the case, D Chicago, please explain to us how is that possible that 12,000 people is given the same amount of 2 million people. Please explain that. That's all. Explain to us how 1,000 acres of paved road is the same as 1,000 feet of paved road. I don't know. Yeah, so Gary is still without power, Shiesty. I was just going through it, and people are I'm trying to figure out ways that we could get money. But the dude from that's doing the food reviews. Damn, what's the man? That man with the locks with the food reviews. Damn, we just said his name. It's been like 2 weeks, Shiesty. Crazy. And the Indiana Fever, they still playing basketball like a mug. Goddamn, Caitlin Clark shooting up shots, and Inez Cantor was in the goddamn. He got kicked out. And you know it's blazing hot, especially at nighttime. Ain't no air circulating through those goddamn apartments. It's hot as hell. Every window open. No lights. Just blazing hot. Just laying down and sweat in the dark. Just crazy. They don't got no way. Okay, you didn't answer the question. But yeah, Gary's messed up right now. Totally messed up. Sickening. But you know, a lot of people that want to argue with me, they don't think that it have anything for Gary being the demographic that it is. I think it has a lot to do with the demographic that it is. I think if it was another area where it was a different demographic, I think those people that got their lights on a long time ago. Be sneezy. Thank you, Pumps in the Bump. You know what I'm saying? But man, I think the demographics says a lot. And it's sad to see. It's sad to see that more people are not talking about this situation. You'd think more people will have a conversation about it because this was somewhere else. Man, this would be national news. If this was in California, this would be all over the place. If this was Chicago, it'd be all over the place. If this was New York City, it would be all over the place. I don't know, King Problem. Where's 50 Cent? Why 50 Cent ain't talking about Gary? Why the Jackson 5 ain't talking about Gary, Indiana? Why your favorite Chicago? Why your favorite content creators not talking about Gary, Indiana? But you here want to just argue with, and just not pay attention to what's going on in the world, even though you're a real estate agent. That's insane. They got more things to talk about. You know what I'm saying? They do have the new Carmelo situation. I was kind of trying to stay away from it. I didn't feel like. I ain't feel like it. I ain't feel like fight. I didn't feel like. Hey, look. I was like, let me fight the good fight with Gary, and then hopefully I can give it some kind of. Hopefully I got some kind of push it out somewhere. Well, you ain't shit, Wall Street. You know what I'm saying? Maybe that's true. Maybe we don't belong there. I don't know. But clearly, they making the choice to not even cover what's going on there. That's the part that is insane to me. How you not even covering it? This is America, bro. Chicago, so what are you? You're against Democrats. You don't understand how things actually work. So what are you, Chicago? What is your affiliation? Because you said we need to get. You still haven't answered that question. Why we need to leave Democrats alone? You didn't answer that. You're saying a whole bunch of nonsense about how city economics works. You don't understand how city economics work at all, which is very sad. To see the demographic of people that is in pain and that is suffering in this whole situation for 2 weeks without powers is crazy. The fact that you never said what, Chicago? You said that you don't understand. You literally said you don't. All right. So what are you, Chicago? Are you a Democrat? Are you a Democrat or a Republican? All you gotta do is say what you are. Since you saying that you're not, but you're not. What are you? It seems like it. So what are you? Don't tell me what you. All right. So what are you? Are you a Democrat, Republican? You're a Republican. You're a Democrat. You're conservative. You're a liberal. You're an independent. What are you? Maybe that can help us understand. Because one thing I do know, you're afraid to hit the link. Darwin Harris, you are more than welcome to hit the link and explain yourself. Because you ain't making no sense whatsoever. So we're going to just go ahead and delete that message. And if you say one more thing that is stupid, you're going to get blocked for the rest of the day. Simple and plain. So watch what you say on this channel. You got to be respectful. So, yeah. And so I just think that we just need more people to represent our own people. If Gary, Indiana is majority us, we need to be speaking up about it and say, hey, NIPSCO, yeah, the block party, Wimbiana. NIPSCO is doing a horrible job of keeping the infrastructure intact. You should have been cutting trees down a long time ago. You know what trees are going to be a problem for storm hits. Like, where was the precaution? Why wasn't you cutting down trees all these years? Like, the place that I'm in now, like, they make sure that the trees stay below the goddamn power lines. It's kind of wild to see. Like, I ain't gonna front. I'm impressed with some of the things that they do. It's some of the, I'm impressed. It's crazy. Like, they really pay attention to make sure things is moving in the best direction. Like, you can't, hey, a natural disaster is a natural disaster. There ain't much you could do when Mother Nature hit. I'm in a city where it just got hit with a crazy natural disaster. A whole bunch of places flooded. They had to evacuate over 1 million people where I'm at because it was just absolutely ridiculous amount of water. But they did a really good job and they got everything back up and running in less than 24 hours. They knew what it was time. They knew where was the trouble places. So they fixed it right away. It's crazy. I do. So I guess where Chicago's misunderstand is that, yeah, I get it that most people that have a racist connotation, they believe that in the city means black and Latino, and usually black and Latino means, I guess, low income. So I get why he's saying it. Don't be teasing me conversations with NJ. I went running yesterday and then I couldn't even walk home. So don't be teasing me. Now I got to nurse a leg injury. So don't be teasing me. How fast was your minute, by the way? That's what I think is happening, Ms. J. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I get it. Like most racist people say in the city to you know, to disparage a certain group of people. So I get it. No, I'm for real, MJ. Like I went running. I was doing good too, MJ. I did an 8-minute mile. I kept going. My legs said, nope, too soon, too fast. You need to get back up to around like 11. That's what I want. 10-minute mile. Yeah, that's what my body told me I need to get back to. My body said 8-minute mile. Absolutely not. I had to rent a bike to go home. I couldn't even walk. I was flying too, MJ. I was looking good. My legs, I was like, I was moving. Everything was moving in sync. My heart rate was at 152, MJ. I was cooking today. Everything felt good. I drank 2 bottles of water before I ran. I only did like a half an hour stretch. Maybe I had to, extend it. And now I got to nurse this leg for the next 2 days. So no running for me for the next 2 days and see how it feels in like 2 days. But yeah, I couldn't even walk home, goddamn shit. I was like, God damn. I was just feeling really good about myself. You feel what I'm saying, MJ? It's like 8-minute mile, that's pretty good. You know what I mean? I'm on the road to 7. Like, that's what I really want to get to. I would love to get to a 7-minute mile, but goddamn, my legs said absolutely not. Shicey, you are silly. But the good thing today, MJ, after my leg got hurt and we hopped on the bikes, me and the baby girls, we did about 6 miles today on the bike. So, you know what I mean? So that was pretty good. I don't think it was a cramping problem. I did a lot of I was doing a lot this weekend. So I think I just put a little bit too much pressure on working out, running, and just doing too much with the children and just everything. So I think it's just, I need to sit my ass down because my whole body is sore, you know what I mean? So I think I just need to sit my ass down and before I actually hurt myself. Yeah, Shicey Bum, do some goddamn Pilates. Pilates is good for you. It's gonna get that core and it's gonna make that thing a little tighter, you know what I'm saying? It's gonna make you get that super grip. At least that's what they say the Pilates do, you know what I'm saying? I only ran a mile, 1.2 miles today, because after I ran the mile, that's when the legs started acting crazy. So I was like, I stopped running. I rented a bike, and then we just rode the bikes for 5 miles. So I did a total of 6 miles altogether. So I ran until my leg hurt, and then I rented a bike because they just on the street, and I rented a bike, and me and the girls did an extra 5 miles or 6 miles. I gotta slow it down a little bit. I'm acting like I'm still young, you know what I mean? Like, I gotta slow it down. You know what I mean? So today was a rude awakening. It was a rude awakening to tell, like, hey, we ain't ready to be doing no 8-minute mile. Like, no. So. Yeah, we're gonna see. I'm gonna rest up the leg. I'm gonna see how it's feeling the next 2 days, and I'm gonna try to do. I'm gonna try to keep it easy. I'm gonna take it a little bit more easier. But I rode the bike pretty easy today, so I'm assuming that I ain't pulled nothing because I was able to ride the bike. That's how I was just want to test what was really going on with it. I think my body ain't ready to be doing no single digit miles yet. I just think it ain't ready, you know what I mean? But the bike felt good, so we still did 6 miles. So did 6 miles on the bike. One mile running, 8-minute route, 8-minute mile, and we did 6 miles on the bike. So, and shout out to baby girls that they was able to do it on the bike. So that was awesome. And it's hot too. It was 90 degrees. So it could be a little bit of that too. It could be a little bit of the electrolytes and just cramping and all that too. My body just was like, nah. But running in 90-degree weather ain't really that nice anyway. I bet you do, Wall Street. Word, I don't want to pull no muscles, goddamn. I don't know. You know he's strange, Shiesty. Yeah, I mean. But I was thinking about maybe getting a nice bike out here too, so I could rather be a little bit easier on the joints and the calves and all that for sure. Because you could definitely get more miles in on a bike than running on your feet. Especially because, the baby girls, they ride on a bike, so they be trying to make me run faster and shit. So, hey, they got me to 8-minute mile. Like, that shit hurt like a motherfucker, though. I couldn't even walk. I was like, fuck this. I was like, I was about to call a cab, goddamn. Shicey bum, my legs was done. I was doing the stanky leg. Stank. I was trying to shake that leg out. Shicey was like, what the hell? That shit hurt. I was like, I was doing the stanky leg. Stank. That shit was crazy. But yeah, I mean, it's some more things that we got to talk about. I really want to just bring up probably like a 12-speed. Probably like a 12-speed bike to get around and be whipping around with brakes and everything, you know what I mean? With disc brakes. So that's what I'm thinking about getting. A nice little, like not a mountain bike, but I'm definitely not getting a fixed bike. Absolutely not. So I'm gonna get one of those bikes that's in between, one of those performance bikes. Yeah, that's how I've been training lately. I'm trying to get them, be running with me. So at the moment they ride the bikes and I run. So I'll be right. I'll be right beside them. So that's how come I did like an 8-minute mile today. So you know what I mean, I'm keeping up. But shit. Yeah, I was running in jeans. That's right. The crazy part, MJ, they be trying to talk to me while I'm running and everything. I got back. And yes, we all go down that work. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, goddamn. They act like they don't understand that I'm running. They on bikes, goddamn. Shit. And one of them, right, Ms. Jan, one of them was on the electric one at that, goddamn. One was on the electric one, goddamn. Shit. I be trying to work me out, goddamn. But F that. But it seems like there's a lot of things we gotta talk about this week, though. I gotta find out what's going on with this Carmelo case now, because it seems like there's a lot of new information coming out on both sides that looks like it's horrible for both parties, and they both doing and saying the wrong goddamn thing. So we gotta talk about that. Goddamn. Nola Wells' situation like it's getting crazier and crazier. Words, Cody, I be dying in that, and it be 90 degrees too. Like even at like 6 in the morning, it's like 90 degrees. It's crazy out here. It be blazing. And at nighttime ain't no better. Like nighttime is cool because it got a breeze, but it's still hot as hell. Right, I gotta listen to Candace. Yeah, Candace Owens, she's still a hot topic as well. Shit. So we got Carmelo, we got Nolan, we got Candace still a hot topic. What else we got going on? Gary, Indiana, clearly my black folks don't give a damn about Gary, Indiana right now. But also we had the whole situation with Enes Kanter and the WNBA that happened down in Indiana this weekend, how he got kicked out. That was kind of crazy. And it's so interesting to see how many goddamn conservatives is on the side of Enes Kanter, just antagonizing a whole corporation. It's crazy to me. Yeah, Cody, that shit is crazy. At nighttime, it's a breeze, but it's still 90 degrees. It's wild. You know what I mean? So, it's a lot of shit going on. And plus, I still didn't review the Me and Fantastic thing. I got to review the argument that I had with Angry Man about Jasmine Crockett, which I thought was just insane and ridiculous as well. That was kind of crazy, too. So a couple of things I got to do. I got to get it together. But I was busy running around with the family. And then now I'm parked up, so ain't no more running around with the family for a little minute. Also, maybe I could even talk about Blueface and that girl. What's that girl name? What's Blueface baby mama name? Krishan Rock. Her ass, she about to go to jail probably. I don't know. Oh, Military Cadence, not Candace. My bad. I thought you said Candace. Let me see. You need to listen to a cadence. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you're right. But I be trying to move too goddamn fast. If I'm doing like a 12-minute mile, I could talk and run. When it's getting up to like that 10-minute and below, when you get to like 9, when you get like in that low 10s, upper 9s, I ain't talking. Those low 10s and upper 9s, nah, I ain't talking. I'm concentrating. I'm concentrating on my foot placement, on my arms, my breathing, all that. I ain't talking. No. It's just quiet. It's just me in the room. Pat, 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 pat. That's it. Yeah, I didn't review it yet, so I got to review. Maybe I'll review the debate tomorrow, SD, so I need to review that. I need to review the time when me and Angry Man had a conversation about Jasmine Crockett, which I thought was just wild what he said about that. And, yeah, we got some things we got to talk about this whole week. Because it's just crazy. Summertime is crazy. Summertime is a difficult time for content creation, too. I'm glad I'm not in the mix of all the craziness that's going on, MJ. I'm almost out the ghetto. Hell yeah, I definitely do. I'm finally out the ghetto, MJ. I'm not just, you know what I'm saying? I'm not in the inner city no more when it comes to these conversations. Or I also probably need to review the time that I just did with podcasting them too. That would be fun as well. Because man, I was cooking them up on that one as well. So maybe I need to do that one as well. So I got a couple things I gotta do. I got a couple of videos ideas that I need to get a handle of too. Miss J, what you mean? I'm just like, you know, I moved 2 blocks away from the ghetto. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm just out of the ghetto. You know what I mean? Like I ain't all the way in there yet. You know what I'm saying? I'm moving on up, Miss J, to the east side. You know what I mean? I'm a little bit out the ghetto. I'm 1 foot in the ghetto and 1 foot out the ghetto. You know what I mean? In the ghetto. Oh shit! That's what I'm talking about, J. Bill. I'm passing the gun line, boss. You know what I mean? Like I can still see it. You know what I mean? I can give you a high five from the line and everything, but I just passed the gun line. Goddamn shit! I don't be talking about none of that stuff. Cause I stumbled upon a stream last night. I was like, what in the world is going on? I didn't even know these 2 people was beefing. I didn't even know that was a thing. I didn't even know it was a thing. Look, I'm the mayor. I'm like Mayor Cobblepot. You know what I'm saying? And I'm Mayor Cobblepot. That's what I am. You know what I mean? So I be trying to act like I'm not ghetto. Cody always want to try to remind me and shit. God damn it. You know what I mean? Like I be trying to like, you know. You know what I mean? I be trying to act like I'm not. You know what I mean? Let me, you know. All right, so what we're gonna do? I'm gonna recuperate. I'm gonna get some more things that y'all actually want to talk about, cause you know, this is something I wanted to talk about the Gary Indiana thing. I think we need to have more coverage on it. You know what I mean? I think we need to talk more about our black issues, not just black gossip things, and not just things that's gonna incite us for no reasons. I wanted to really talk about the Gary Indiana, but clearly. My folks don't care about Gary, Indiana, and our black folks over there. Wall Street really say ain't no black folks supposed to be in Indiana. So, you know, says that clearly because, you know, they still have the basketball game. That's for sure. So I'm going to regroup and see what the hell y'all want to talk about. And I'll see y'all later. Maybe even later on tonight. I'm going to take a nap because I ain't going to go running. I'm not going to go running in the morning. So maybe instead of going run in the morning, I just fire up a new stream. What y'all want to do? 5 p.m. we can lock it up again? Let's do that. I'll figure out some things to talk about. So until later on today, or maybe, I'm not sure, but I'm going to scream at y'all later. I'm going to regroup, get my legs together, get my body together. Until then, like, make sure y'all hit that like and the share. I appreciate y'all.
Nothing wrong with being. Let me